I don't understand. What is going on?
Have you got a deck built?
What is going on? I'm just editing a deck. What is going on? I'm just editing a deck.
Good, good. Just had a massive amount of echo because I forgot that the stream was on. Fantastic.
Oh.
So we have questions in Discord, on Twitter, and on our community YouTube.
Oh, did you do a YouTube one as well? Cool.
I did. So we should have a good amount of questions here.
Good amount of questions. Yes, yes. What am I looking for? Right, I need to build a list. Let's move that glass of water there.
Oh, we're definitely not opening packets. Why has it said that? Oh, that's the last time it did an announcement. Yeah, yeah, months ago. Yeah.
Professional content creators. Yeah, yeah.
Semi-pro. I'll just test the chat with a little Jim Jam.
Certainly content, at least.
Good. Well, true to form, no one's here.
Oh, you can't. He doesn't mean that, all 8 of you.
What level are you on this, Jack? You're a score bunny tier. Oh, Jack. Get a grip.
Don't ask that, Joe.
Score bunny tier, Jack, really? Ah, people are getting in here. Hello. You like the trim? I want to be as cool as possible in terms of temperature for when I'm going to Japan. Because I feel like I'm going to be sweating like a bison. So I've gone for short hair for that reason. And it's probably going to end up being pretty normal size. Normal size? Normal length by the time I'm actually there.
Right, I've checked every single channel in our Discord, and I can't find the list I want to build, so I'm going rogue.
Fantastic. Laura, how's it going? What have I done to my hair?
Not the same reaction.
That's from Laura. Not great.
Yeah. Thanks.
Max, hello. Thank you. Connor, hello. Tim with a quick question of why is Jack the luckiest person we know?
Yeah.
Based on...
Yeah, he's been griefing me about that today.
Yeah.
All I can say is he won't be coming with me.
No. What was your 3?
Centre, park, and drone show.
Okay. Drone show.
Yeah, there's a late night drone show.
That actually sounds like the coolest thing.
Pretty pog, yes.
Right, I have sent you a request. Just
yeah. You know. Bear with me. I'm strategizing.
Right, well maybe I should start asking some questions then, seeing as though we've got nothing else going on.
We probably hold on.
What should we start with? Discord?
What has the what's the least likely to get more? Because we should do the one that's least likely to get more first.
Wait, what? The least likely to get more first?
Yeah,
probably
so that we
the
don't miss
YouTube
any.
community one is buried now by videos.
Yeah.
I would hedge.
Yeah.
So let's start there then.
Let's start there, I suppose.
Slugger asks, does he actually ask a question? Yes, he does. He's saying, well done to us, which thank you very much, first of all. He says, what's our favourite moment throughout our career as competitive players? Jack, what's your favourite?
Favourite moment?
One moment that you go?
One moment.
Yeah.
For me, little bit selfishly, I think it's got to me Milan last year. It was the first time I'd ever been to Italy, so it was already like, and we were treating it as a holiday as well.
Yep.
So it was already just good vibes anyway. But me to Rab getting his first top 8 was honestly he'd worked really hard that season. It was actually really good seeing him get his first top 8 because his first day 2? It might have even been his first day 2 and his first top 8. I can't remember, but yeah, I think it was his first day 2. Yeah, so seeing the payoff there was really good for him. Tamal getting all the way to the final was great because again, me and him had kind of gone as a holiday. So me and him also doing well was great, but it also disgustingly somehow frogged me into day 2, which was an absolute injustice, but we move. So yeah, I think the whole holiday was. I think because none of us were taking it that seriously, that's what made it even better. We went on holiday. We with the intention of playing a tournament, but also as just going as a holiday, and the fact that 3 of us did well was just insane. So yeah, that's kind of going to come up again because favorite tournament and that kind of stuff. But I think that's been up there for me. Yeah, it was brilliant.
I remember the cube evening where we took the banner as well. That was a great.
We ran off with the banners.
Yeah. And actually, the pizzas we had were. Someone had a horrific pizza with like chips and hot dog on it and stuff. But other pizzas were good.
It was Williams. We know who it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Good one. That was a great weekend. My one would be still for me UK Nationals 2016 is still the one that I go to. It's my first commentary gig. Again, it involves Tamal, where I was able to literally hand him the trophy, which was awesome.
Yeah.
First time meeting Puka, first time playing Cube, a lot of firsts that weekend. Yeah. And you won the cup the next day?
Yeah.
You won the cup?
I'm waiting for him to comment, but Connor scoops to me in the final so we could go home.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was also a good weekend. That wasn't the last time I played Greninja. I played Greninja for the main event, which was funny.
Yeah. Definitely wasn't the last time because he played it in Bilbao as well. And that literally the last week you could play Frogs, he played it.
Yeah. That is not how it happened, you lie. What do you mean? You scooped to me in the final. That's what happened. We didn't play. You just gave it to me. I don't know how I
expose him. Is Jack lying on the first question, Connor?
I don't know how that can be any more untrue. Like I'm telling you that I'm saying that I didn't have to play.
Right, are you going to play against me or what, Jack? Because I'm getting a bit.
Oh, I've just been watching the stream. I thought you were queuing into a real game. Sorry.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to send another request because it.
Right, I am. Yeah, I am. I am now ready.
Well done. Good first question. Next up.
Yes.
Now that we have N back in the form of Iono, what is the one trainer card you would bring back to the TCG? It's got to be a returning card.
Oh, they've changed how this works.
N was the go-to answer for most of us. So now that we have Iono,
that's a difficult question because my next answer is usually some kind of recovery. We've just got Super Rod back, which is great as well. What else have we? What else is missing? What else is missing from days gone by?
I've definitely got one in mind. If you want to take some extra time,
I'll have a think.
For me, Pokecom is would be a great missing piece to this format right now. Because I think naturally the composition of decks means it rewards or helps evolution-based decks a lot more than one-prize decks. And I think giving that extra push for evolution as we progress into more Stage 2, ideally, and other evolution-based formats, I think that's a great card that would be balanced and just be a great addition to the game. Of one of the only things that's really missing right now, I think.
Yeah, I actually think our trainer pool right now is very, 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 very solid.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm struggling so much, because there's actually we're in a really good period. I think like you said, ball search is always kind of the go-to answer, just because more consistency is always good.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it being incense either, but I think com is that sweet spot of doing.
I really like com.
And even though it could be in basic decks, it seems to fit better for evolutions, because you put stuff back that you don't need right now, get stuff that you need immediately. Bish bash bosh. I
think for me, it'd actually be some form of like I've always really liked letter, just being a. I think Energy Search is such a weak card. That I actually would love to see just a letter reprint. It's kind of like a boring answer, but I think it's a really important card.
I've said that before myself. I think it's just a good card for a lot of decks, without pushing that broken threshold quite often. I think in Obsidian Flames we're getting something similar to that, but you have to be behind, right? I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think we're getting a similar item to that, actually. Someone can correct me in chat if not. But yeah, okay. Next one. Will we ever do another dual Nuzlocke? Despite all the TCG content, the Fire Red Leaf Green Nuzlocke was one of your favourite things we've ever done.
I mean...
Hello?
Never say never. Definitely never say never. I really enjoy them. I think the biggest issue we have is, at the time at least, they were a lot more effort than we had time to put into them for the amount of effort we got out, or the amount we got out of them, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think...
Editing-wise, what did you have to do? You had to sync up both of our videos and audio.
So it was syncing up. Yeah. It was syncing up video and audio, and then basically
resizing everything
and stuff, which was like it was fine, but it just wasn't it wasn't received as well as some, like, obviously the TCG stuff, so it made it a little bit less. It made it a little bit less encouraging to do.
Yeah.
Definitely never say never, though. Me and Joe love playing Pokemon games, and outside of
you're playing a ton of ROMs all the time, right?
Yeah. Outside of playing a game for the first time, I will never not do a challenge run of a game, because especially nowadays, games are way too easy to not implement some kind of challenge to it. So we're definitely still playing games and ROMs and stuff. It's just about whether we want to stick the record button on or not. The other thing is, like, outside of playing TCG, there's so little, like, we have so little time. It's then, like, it probably realistically now would eat into the TCG content. And that's something that neither of us really want to do, because...
Yeah, I mean, at the time, we weren't doing necessarily daily TCG, and that's basically our goal now.
Yeah.
So you're right, it would detract from our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, I think if the situation were different and we were able to, like, outsource the editing or whatever, then it would be way easier, because it'd just be a case of literally just playing through a game. But the fact that it's not, like, the fact that it's so much more than just playing through a game makes it a little bit unappealing in the immediate, I think. Which is a shame, because it's ROM hacks and Nuzlocks and stuff like that are so fun, and the community is so, like, especially I've found over the past couple of years, especially since COVID, the community is so good at making, like, ROM hacks and stuff that Pokemon would never ever do. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's incredible some of the stuff that the community like can actually sort of come up with.
And I know you found the regular Nuzlocke for Fire Red Leaf Green difficult enough, but I would really relish that extra challenge. Okay.
Oh, it stings.
What is a notable cube story or notable moment you remember fondly with regards to drafting/playing cube?
Mine will always be our long, long forgotten friend Benjamin Pavey drafting his first
Yeah.
cube and creating an insane control deck out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's really something.
Um, that he was a good player, but he typically played like fairly linear decks because he didn't have like masses amount of time to invest into the game. Favorite deck, for example, for a long time was Volk. Nothing wrong with playing Volk, but it's a pretty linear deck, right? So for him to basically create an infinite loop the first time he like not just any infinite loop, but like a game-winning infinite loop the first time he played
Yeah.
Cube was genuinely like mind-boggling. We were like, how on earth have you
Yeah.
seen this combination of cards when yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, that's
Very,
definitely
very good
one
player.
I'm fond of. I have a slightly more recent one, I suppose, although that is definitely lives long in the memory. I think. Oh, hold on. What should I do here?
Oh, you're not thinking about what to do, are you? My first action was wrong.
You genius. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, so in Utrecht for the special, I brought my cube, and we were playing with a lot of the Germans. Nico, who had just won, Tord, Philip, Lydia, all of that lot, and it was like 3:30, and it's me and Tord in finals, and he's smack talking me the whole time because like literally we sat next to each other in the draft, and he was like he thought his deck couldn't be beaten, and then he had a really hot start against me, and I like low rolled, and he was talking so much smack, but I was able to like claw back this unlikely comeback, and that was a pretty fun feeling because he literally just couldn't like he didn't see how he had lost. Basically, he was like, "How can I lose from this position?" kind of thing.
Yeah,
So that was good.
always a fun feeling.
Yeah, Tord is toxic. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That's the moral of the story. Tord is toxic as hell. Okay, let me just finish off what I'm doing this turn. 2, 4, 6. Yeah. You know the drill. Done. Do I want to do that? Is the question. Yeah, I guess I just do this. We'll bonk this guy. Okay. Mm-hmm. What's mine and Jack's favourite part of doing YouTube?
That's a top deck.
You haven't frogged, have you? Don't.
Certainly might have. Favorite part of doing YouTube?
Yeah.
I mean, for me now, as someone who is less in front of the camera and more is doing this stuff, I actually it's so stupid, but I actually really enjoy just trying to come up with creative like thumbnails and video designs and stuff. That's kind of actually where a lot of my head is now. It's just trying to, because I think because we're so anti-pog face, it naturally backs the kind of videos we make into it actually backs us into a little bit of a corner, which isn't an issue. It's just, this is the decision we've made and we're kind of sticking to it, which is fine. But I think it means that we have to be a little bit more creative than than we would have to than other people do, I guess, because it means that we, kind of look at other ways to do things, and because of that, I think for me that's kind of something that really interests me. It's just trying to break the mold in terms of how can we still create thumbnails that people are interested in without necessarily breaking our own rules, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, it's just that sort of... YouTube's the reason... Like, it's a real motivator for just putting as much work into Pokemon as possible, I suppose, and keeping me, like, as engaged as possible. So, being super ahead of the curve and, like, exploring Japanese meta really intently, watching a lot of content myself, also on the Japanese side of things. Definitely this year I've watched a lot more Japanese YouTube just to try and get a real early sense of what's what. And I think that sort of exploration wouldn't happen if I wasn't doing YouTube. I wouldn't end up... Like, our goal essentially with, especially with set reviews and stuff, is to basically be like a month ahead of the general player base. And that's all because we're doing content, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be that fussed. I'd just wait until, a lot of the time it's the first American tournament before we even have to think about our meta. So
yeah, I hadn't thought about that actually. That's also another thing. I think an unfortunate side effect of that is, for me, formats get boring way quicker than if we didn't already know kind of what was good or whatever. But I think it actually means that I enjoy the first month or so of a format way more, because I'm going into it prepared, which I personally always prefer playing in underdeveloped formats anyway, but it feels like preparation is a big thing that is rewarded in underdeveloped formats. And like I say, I think it means that for me the format falls off way quicker because we've probably been testing it a month before the tournaments and stuff, so it's naturally going to get stale a bit quicker. But even so, I think it makes that first half a bit more interesting for me, and a lot more rewarding as well in terms of trying to see if our preparation was accurate and stuff. And I like knowing sort of what's going to be good going into formats and stuff, or what's expected to be good at least.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just figuring out what to do here. Should probably get rid of this, I think.
Thanks for all the kind words in the chat, by the way. We will be looking at... Well, I think probably we'll look at chat after we've finished the YouTube questions.
Yeah.
And we'll just sort of dip in and out of chat just because they'll be coming through all through the night. So we'll finish YouTube community, then we'll run through chat, then we'll do Discord maybe, then we'll run through chat again, and then we'll look at Twitter, and then we'll have one last crawl of chat, perhaps. Am I getting exploded here?
Explosions.
There might be an
3,
explosion.
6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. It's weird. I always feel like it's super weird doing this against a Sableye that's in play, but... So you have prizes all over the shop. But it's not into my Gardevoir, which is good. So yeah, let's do that. Right, next one. If TPCI delegated you as a project manager to restore a diverse and fun expanded format for the tournament season, what measures would you take? A rotation, a longer ban list, expanded specific sets, etc.
For me, priority would be access to cards.
Yeah.
I think at the moment that's the thing that Expanded is crying out for the most, is just being able to actually play the game would be great.
Would that be in the form of reducing the sets legal, or would it be in the form of
I think it
some
has to be a
specialty
toolkit.
products? Yeah,
Yeah,
toolkit,
I think
right?
I think it has to be a toolkit. I think the fundamental issue with expanded, I can't remember who I was having this conversation with. It was someone. Can't remember who I was having a conversation with. The fundamental problem with expanded is old trainers were broken and Pokemon were pretty crap, and now new Pokemon are crap and current trainers are like
The way around. Yeah.
yeah, it's the other way around. So essentially, you have these cracked Pokemon now that work with cracked trainers. So um, the ultimate solution, the really interesting solution, would be something along the lines of basically rotating in such a way that you get to keep the old Pokemon that are slightly lower power levels, so that you don't have this massive like scope creep, but you still have the new trainers to and you like you're more frequently banning the new Pokemon, because the new Pokemon are the ones that typically cause the issues in terms of um like the broken stuff, quote unquote. Oh, I have drawn my other energy. Yeah. So yeah, it's this really weird it's this really weird situation where I think there's definitely something that can be done. I think it's probably too complicated for it to ever actually be an elegant solution, though. Like having only Pokemon from X era, like all of that kind of stuff is where I think it gets a bit messy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think realistically, the next best solution is probably just a toolkit and a more aggressive ban list.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much exactly what I would do as well. It would be an extensive ban list. It would be like a Yu-Gi-Oh ban list, I think. I would also I do think the option of having limited as well as just pure ban, as in limited number of counts of a thing, is also an interesting thing that Pokemon hasn't really done.
I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot they could do. Unfortunately, I think a lot of stuff like that they never would, just because it would be deemed too complicated, which is a shame, because I think a lot of the time that is the correct. Like a lot of the times, those kinds of solutions are actually just the like fundamentally the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
I also I really don't like this notion that everyone just thinks expanded should rotate. I don't think expanded should rotate. I just think there should be a different format, like a middle an in between format. Because I think the idea with expanded was, I think the way they were doing was expanded was like kind of correct, and it's just all kind of gone to the dogs, I guess. But I don't know. Yeah, I think the biggest issue is access to access to the good cards that are all the old cards, like typically. Um, but yeah, I'm interested to see how much of it, how much of the whole thing that Stefan tweeted the other day actually is not I say true. I 100% believe him, of course, but like I'm interested to see whether that's actually something that I don't know, is a thing that cups, like if cups are allowed to be in the format, does that mean what does that mean for, regionals and stuff? Are we going to be getting regionals and stuff potentially?
No, is the. I mean, they've already said every regional is.
Oh, have
standard.
they?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. It's interesting.
Yeah. It's also wrong that expanded isn't coming back for cups or challenges. It was.
Oh, is
corrected.
it not?
Yeah, yeah. It's
okay.
all just not happening. Because I think it needs an overhaul before they can actually send it into the general stratosphere. Okay.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Right. Okay. What's been the favorite video we've created for the channel?
Good question. Hmm. That's a very good question.
For me, it would be the new spotlight videos. I'm really basically just proud of myself for trying something new after being a fossil for so long and really just avidly rejecting the idea of even dipping my toe into editing just out of fear of being terrible at it. And now that I've done those videos, it's sort of opened up my mind to little fixes I can do here and there for all sorts of the videos that we do. So I definitely think they're fun, they get good attention, so it like ticks those boxes, which is really motivating. But also it's like opened up a world of possibilities for future content. So those spotlights are some of my favorites to do. They take a long time because I'm still really slow at editing, but they feel
I
very
think they're really
rewarding.
Editing I found is really rewarding though.
Yeah.
Favorite video we've done. It's not. This is going to be a bit of a meme. It's not really a video. I think our heart was 100% in the right place in terms of the OPOP League.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's actually my favorite. It's not a video, but it's like my favorite project we've ever tried to do. I think we will both very happily hold our hands up, sort of saying things could have gone better. Things were. We thought about things after the fact that we needed to perhaps think about more ahead of time, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I really liked that project, and I really liked the outlook for that project. Had we, I think if we were to do it again, it would be way more successful, and it would just be, like, in general be way better. Whether we ever will or not, I don't know. Again, never say never, but probably never. But yeah, I think that's probably been my favorite project. I also just really like some of the old video, like the older videos we did back when video making was way less popular. Like some of the videos that stick out in my mind are like that video where you just did the turn ones of the Raichu Shaman deck. That was just a really cool video, I think. And at the time, like no one really, I don't know, it didn't fit. Like no one really does it now. But PTGO I think was kind of in its infancy. And yeah, I really liked that video as well, and stuff like that.
That was fun. There's a few decks that are always still good to Goldfish and Open Hand Sim. Like you could do it with Fusion Mew right now, for example.
Yeah, you could.
And it's
yeah.
still like really applicable. Although you can just now look at Limitless for stats and everything.
But that's the thing. Like that's fine, obviously.
You like the manual nonsense of it all back then.
But yeah, the amount of fun I think that there is in actually just like playing the decks. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's our favorite cube for 2 players and for big groups, and that we did not build? Okay.
I feel like this is a weighted question.
Why?
Because it sounds like it's the answer is just SP cube because it was.
No, sorry. One is it's asking
it's
2
all
players
separate,
as
right,
well
okay.
as big group.
Okay,
and one,
sorry. I thought
and possibly one that we didn't build.
I thought it was one of our friends basically giving us the
Come
answer.
on, say it.
My answer is SP cube. I think that's my favorite 2-player cube because you can have in general you can have such it's like such a different drafting style. So
SP cube, sorry.
Yeah. Well, sorry, 2-player cubes. You can have such a different drafting style.
Yeah.
That I think that's 100% my favorite. But that's my favorite because SP is a really fun era to cube with. But equally, I don't think that I think just having just the amount of different ways you can do drafting with just two people is kind of just because of that. I don't know. You're seeing the whole deck. That probably means I'm donezo. Favorite cube for larger groups. I like Chaos a lot more than I thought I would, because I think Chaos is very, very skill intensive, and I'm not particularly good at cube. But I think there's something really rewarding about building decks in that kind of in a Chaos cube, because the decks are so much. I don't know. The decks naturally are just so much more all over the place because there's only one lines here and there and that kind of stuff. But also there's something really nice about Chaos decks that they just have this. It's like an internal synergy of weaving random bits together, then it's just sort of worked out. I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, there's something really cool about Chaos. But I'm also just a sucker for regular stage 2 evolutions with lots of consistency, like just getting to play some evolutions that you wouldn't normally play.
Mm-hmm.
I like high power cubes over low power cubes personally.
Yeah. Chaos is definitely not my favorite to play cube, but it's still just the best draft experience, I think. Tamau's is still one of my favorite big cubes to play, just because it has a lot of replayability. It's a pretty well balanced mutant. It probably needs a bit of TLC because it's kind of it could do with some updating, but it's still one of my favorite, like, balance of draft plus battle fun, I think. So yeah, that would be my choice. It's Tamu on Cube Koga, his stage 1 mutant, if anyone's interested. Okay,
is this broken because we've both challenged each other?
Oh, certainly, maybe. Right, let me join yours. There we go. What's our favourite retro format and why?
Oh yes, this is a great question. I'm gonna let you go first for this one.
Letting me go first. Me,
yeah.
Of all people. Tough one. Definitely a tough one. I'm trying to go on my Cube Koga to see.
I will not be answering next.
No, I want to see all of the world's format years first of all, if they're the correct answer or if it's something else.
Jack's favorite makes me cringe. It's not my favorite anymore. I've been told off.
Are you gonna say Sun and Moon to team up? Is that gonna be your one?
Well, the one that makes Ben cringe is HCSS.
Right.
But that's not my favorite anymore after all of the...
You were saying 2011 Worlds was one of your favorites. Right.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites for nostalgia only. It's not a good format. It's just one of my favorites because I love HCSS era.
For me, I think it's 2010 because it has the nostalgia elements and it seems like a pretty good tactical format, I think, still. That's DP to UL, for anyone wondering. But I really like MD to Col as well as one that Connor's had for a long time, and I also really like the diversity in the decks in that one. The only thing that lets down MG to Col, I think, is Kurskar and how warping that deck is. For like how decks have to be built around it.
I like Sun and Moon to team up just because I think it's when tag teams were the most fair because there wasn't like massive support for them, and whilst Pikarom probably wasn't fair, like it's a format where I think the 1 and 2 prize decks actually stand up to it. So I really like that format. I really like. I also really like some of the DP formats. I'm just woefully bad at them because I haven't played them anywhere near enough. I think now that I play a bit more, now that I'm a bit more invested in how much I play. I actually think I would have liked like the Yveltal Garb formats a little bit more than I did initially because I didn't want to go anywhere near that deck. I was like, oh, I hate all of these formats, but I actually probably
What sort? Eveltal Garb is about 3 years, Jack. Gonna need.
well like like any of it.
Narrow
I
it
don't
down,
think I
bro.
genuinely don't think I played Yveltal Garb ever. I might have played it at one tournament, but even that I'm not sure on. Yeah, I think probably similar to you though, Sun and Moon or Sun and Moon Team Up or like
What was the best
MD.
era of Eveltal Garb? Was it 2013? Was it was Yveltal Garb even the thing then? No, so Yveltal Garb wasn't out until start of 2014, right? Yeah, but by Worlds there was other things out. Yeah, okay. But Yveltal Garb was doing well all the way up to EUIC. The first
Yeah, so
EUIC.
that's the I remember it doing well before, but like the one
Yeah.
that sticks out in my mind is EUIC.
Yeah. Okay. Right. When can we get a setup tour? Should I do a setup tour quickly? I can do my setup pretty quickly, I think.
I mean mine is a table, so
Jack's is a table. Yeah. So you got that locked in. I guess I should make my camera bigger for a minute.
oh sorry, I've roped. You might need to
Who cares what Jack's up to? Right. So
yeah, there we go. Perfect.
we got
What kind of table? It's a kitchen table.
we got 2 screens. There they are. Got a load of cardboard. Yeah, classic. Got my mic there. Big water, that's essential. Got a light there. Got some soundproofing going on. It's actually quite a small room that I'm in. I used to have the computer in that corner, so there's more soundproofing up and around there. Got my playmats for when I did some staffing. And a couple of champion ones in there, not to flex, you know. And then we've got the playing area. Ta-da! So that's what you see. There's the... Oops. There's that camera.
That's
the
the
good
play
camera.
zone right there.
Got some more spotlights. Honestly, I've reduced it quite a lot. We've got the... Oh, going down! There's the headphones. But yeah, that's the room. We did have some more kit in here, but we've streamlined it a bit because of how I'm now trying to do the how we're now trying. Hold on, let me take my turn. How we're now trying to do the tabletop. How many bloody Lost Zone cards have you got? 6. Ah, sick. Okay.
Loads.
Hold on then. Honestly, probably that. So it's changed a lot actually. The Stream Deck's not there anymore. What else did we get rid of? There was a standing thing for the overhead. We got rid of that because it just wasn't
Too much hassle.
Yeah, it wasn't helping too much for how much work it was. So it's still an adapting thing, but there we go.
I think every time we record, we make improvements, don't we?
Yeah, it's still in that improving phase. What am I doing here? Do I want to do anything else? I can't hit you. So I should probably just pass. I could do this. What's he at? He's at 6. How many switch outs? His hand's big though. I should probably just chill. Yeah. Okay. Right. There you go. There's the room tour. Lovely.
What's a room tour for you?
Is there any chance that we get some OmniPoke merch? No.
Oh, you can't.
It's probably way too much work for us. You have to remember that we're not full time. These are all things. Some of the things that have been mentioned today are all projects that we'd love to do if we could do this full time. As is the next question. Any chance for possible coaching? Don't have the time, I'm afraid. I tried coaching for like a 9-month period. I don't know if people remember this, but this was back in 2019. Yeah. I think it was from December 2018 until I think it was about August 2019 that I did coaching just for a short stint. Oh, I've also buggered my... that's what I've done. Hold on. The layout's super weird. I forgot to remove my camera. See, too distracted. Let's try and make it the same size as Jack. Yeah, too much bloody hellfire. That's better. So yeah, I did coaching for a small stint. I really didn't like the fact that I had basically shift work and was getting up at like I didn't really have a set routine. I've realized about myself that I'm definitely like this creature of habit that needs to have a very set routine day to day. And it just, my overall mood and happiness is much better if I have that. Yo, big raid from Tricky Jim. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
You guys been tabletopping today? What have you been up to?
Tabletopping.
Look at this, getting some follows in. Thanks, everyone. Talking about best of 3 for 3 hours. Wow.
I have a feeling that's going to come up for this evening, to be fair.
It's going to be one of the questions for sure.
Yeah.
What was the conclusion of the 3-hour chat? What was it? Was it like a pros and cons of each thing? I feel like that's probably the most constructive discussion. And with 3 hours, you can do a full pros and cons of everything. Fat Cats, thanks so much. Radiant Magic Art, thank you.
Yeah, Joe, like Joe said, there's a lot of projects that we would love to do if we had more time. Merch being one of them. I think realistically, like it's something that we would need to like properly look into, and it's just not high on the agenda, unfortunately, because it's I think there's some really cool designs that we have of things that would make really good merch. It's just about investing the time to look into it. I keep saying I will, and every like 6 months I will look into it a little bit more, but then yeah, just never really follow through with it, I guess. It's the same with like Patreon. That's something that we get asked every now and again, and it's like we really appreciate the fact that you guys would like a Patreon, but like we can't, like we don't know whether like we wouldn't feel like it was fair to create a Patreon to not really give anything more than we already do, if that makes sense. So
Okay. This research was so cloggers in the hand. We definitely needed a different supporter there. That's also a really good outcome for us. Unfortunately, it's a bloody 60 hit point rolls, which is the last thing we need. Now then, do I do that? That's the other thing that was interesting to me this turn.
We get an Omnipoke calendar as a Patreon reward. Basically, if I ever take a year off of playing, all of the stuff like Patreon and merch is way more likely to happen because I'm just not going to care about playing. But whilst I'm still playing, it's probably not going to happen.
Huh. This is really I think I actually have to bench this anyway. No, it's so bad for me. Is just 70 hit point Rolts the play these days? Actually worth a consideration, I think. Who's actually going to play Vulpix at Worlds? Grow up. Right.
Brackets, please. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that kind of stuff. If I think I am pretty happy to say if I ever take a year off of playing, I will probably it's probably way more likely to happen.
It's definitely one of those either one of us either I try to go full time or one of us basically we basically have to gain time to try this stuff because both of our times are just so heavily invested into what we're currently doing. Right, let's move on to the Twitter questions, shall we?
Should we do some chat questions first, just because chat have been waiting patiently?
Okay.
And they're still here. They're here.
Yeah, they are here.
146 people in here right now. Thanks so much.
Okay, let's give them a bit of chat interaction, shall we?
Yeah. Hi, chat.
I've forgotten how to Twitch, so. Right. Ask away.
I think there's a couple of bit that have been backlogged that I'm starting to scroll through.
Yeah, if you want to do the Twitch chat ones, that would be great. I have all the other ones ready lined up. So. Yeah.
I do think live has frozen. Oh no, it hasn't. No. Hello. I'm still playing.
A sub from Gregan.
Can we get this? Thanks,
Gregan saying, "I love you, Jack. Hi, Joe. Thanks, Mike."
Correct. Yeah.
He's telling the truth at least.
We wouldn't want him to lie.
Don't be a liar. Right, what are you up to, Jack?
I'm just zooming around. I'm jetting around everywhere. This is brilliant.
Your whole deck's in your lost zone. What's happened?
Don't need any of those. Except maybe the...
What have they ever done?
The I don't know. That's one that I'm...
Right, you doing the Twitch chat or... Cause...
I'm playing.
Stop zooming for 1 minute.
I'm just taking multiple prize cards in one turn. Is this correct?
Paul can't spend his sub this month. Well, fair enough. More active than we are. We literally don't deserve any subs, let's be honest. Anyone who does is truly wasting their sub. I've said that from even when we used to do at least a bit. I always said that it was a waste of a sub. But
right. Nice trim, Joe. Blah, 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 blah. Yep. How did you both get into competitive Pokemon in general? This was all. I guess this is kind of an Omnipoke origin story as well. Because they're kind of hand in hand. I'll let Joe speak on his behalf, but I'd always liked Pokemon until we met, but I'd never played competitive at all. Only built random meme, truly terrible decks. We both entered an online tournament. Pokemon Dan, who is now Dan TDM, who is now Twinleaf.gg founder. So it's all come full circle, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think one or the other of us said, "Does anyone want a game?" And the other one replied saying, "Yeah, sure." and I played some terrible dark deck. Joe played Gyarados, and
No, tell him exactly what it was. Come on.
the dark deck, I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was definitely Tyranitar Prime.
Tyranitar Prime.
I think it was
with
Umbreon
the
Prime.
theme deck Umbreon and Umbreon Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, terrible dark deck. Um,
As quoted.
as I stated. And from there, I'm pretty sure I then found out like 2 weeks later that UK Nats was like 5 minutes from my house. So Joe gave me his Gyarados list. Dan sold me the Gyarados deck. I basically took the list and said, Dan, how much of this do you have? And he said basically all of it. So I bought the Gyarados deck for the grand total of £40, which at the time I was like, oh my god, that's so much money on Pokemon. And then from there, ended up bubbling out of top 8, which was a great day. Great fun had by all.
I mean, it was a good performance for your first tournament.
That probably sounded salty. It wasn't at all. I was over the moon that I'd done that well.
Yeah.
It's insane. So yeah, that's how I got into competitive Pokemon.
It's more or less the same story for me in that we met each other, were playing in that tournament when we were still both pretty newbie, let's be honest. And I knew that Jack had done well at a couple of these tournaments, even though it was in a lower age division or whatever. And that was actually really encouraging for me to then go out and do a tournament. I think the first one we did was a double cup. No, it was a double cities weekend. Yeah. And your grandparents drove us both to both of these tournaments. And we did well across both of them. Me and you were in the finals of the cities on the first day. And then I made finals on the second day as well. So I won the first cities against you because I had a favourable matchup. I think I did, right? It was a close matchup. It was a close matchup.
I can't remember what I played.
You played Landorus Garb. You played Big Basics, right? And I played Flareon. So it was a pretty... I mean, I had single prizes, but you had Landy Aggression. Anyway, and then I played Virgin Balloons the second day in Cities and lost to Cake. But essentially, over that weekend, I was like convinced. First of all, I thought we were both very good at the game, which was so wrong because it was just in the context of those two cities. I was like, I'm actually busted when we were still terrible. But that, again, it's like that confidence thing of being like, you have that taste of a bit of success, and then you're like, well, I'm hooked.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
That was a good weekend, actually. That was a really
fantastic
good
weekend.
Yeah. So I think because we did well, it's so bizarre to me that that's our first tournament because like we
did badly for so long.
Well, yeah, for a first performance, we so overperformed.
Was that your first cities as well? No, right?
Well, it might have been my... Did I play in? No. Because, well, I played for a season in seniors anyway, but then I'm pretty sure I played a handful of tournaments in Masters before then. Because if I remember rightly, it was quite late in the year, right? I think it was like...
I have no idea, because I had no context of what a
Oh,
Pokemon
sorry.
season was.
I mean literally late in the year, as in...
Oh, I also don't remember at all.
I think it was around November, December time, and I have a feeling I'd played up until then.
Right.
Yeah. All right. This is where these selectings could start to get a little bit punishing.
And fun fact, my first tournament opponent was Oliver Barnett, who some may know more recently for getting banned. Just a little treat there.
Right, what's next? Which decks are bad for day one?
Ooh, good one.
I think we're definitely going to be doing an updated tier listy type thing. I think still pretty much any deck in that video is probably still fine.
Yeah, but what's bad, Jack? What's bad is the question.
What's bad?
I think I meant to hold on this, right?
Hold on. What chance do I have left?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking at with these timers rolling down. I think I meant to unlock the energy and go here. How many energy have I been through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we just go here and pass.
Yeah. Well, there's certainly energy in here. Well, there's certainly ways to get energy in here, I should say.
Need some more energy in here. Right. Have I got to go to the top of chat now as well, just to...
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh, mine doesn't seem to go back that far.
It's all right. So yeah, what's bad for day one? I think the biggest thing about day one is you just don't want to tie. Ties are such a trap on day one. So I think if Lost Box isn't your bread and butter at this point, it's probably a bit of a risk. But I think some of the Lost Boxes that are left, i.e., like Turbo and Tina, or like Tina's not Lost Box, but like some of the Lost Zone decks that are left, so Turbo and Tina, I think are naturally a little less punished by time, because Turbo just tries to win really quickly, and Tina has plenty of 2 prizes that mean you either win or lose quite quickly. I think things like Kyogre and Sablezard were the real traps, and they've kind of gone. So I think it's a little bit less bad. But yeah, just avoid tying is like the biggest issue is just avoiding ties, I think.
Yeah.
Next question is, will you do a video about current tournament structure discussions? Will we do a video about it?
I don't think so. We have so much in the backlog right now.
Yeah.
I'm actually ahead of schedule, if you can believe it, guys. Because we're trying to be organised for Worlds, because we're both away for 2 weeks. So we've got a massive backlog of footage. Fortunately, because our friends chipped in and helped out over NAIC weekend where we had this tournament. So I have 30 games that we recorded over, which is pretty sick.
Excellent. So yeah, probably not a video, but this will be going. I'm assuming this is going up as a video. Do you want to put? I want to put this up as a video.
Certainly could.
So we'll probably cover it tonight. So by proxy, yes, it'll be mentioned.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Guessing if this is pre-recorded or not. No, this is not a pre-recorded video. It's just about an hour delay between you sending a question in chat and us actually getting to it.
Yeah. Right, don't frog me. You won't. There he is. what was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of discussion about it in our team chat, not just recently, but like before. We've had that discussion a lot, and we came to a lot of similar conclusions. I know Benji fans actively had some replies on Twitter, and that's really a reflection of what we were discussing and thinking of at the time. So we've definitely thought about it, but a lot of our thoughts are already out in the ether from other people anyway. But if I was to do a video, the only thing I would do is like a pros and cons of all three. But I think it's quite like a dry and boring video, probably. So yeah, probably not going to be a video in the near future. But I do think it's a topic really worth discussing if Pokemon like the change in incentive from Creatures Inc. to bring back comeback mechanics and have basically single prize / 2 prize decks as being the decks in the game, and ultimately a lot of stage 1 and 2 decks by the looks of things. There's going to be more and more reason to look at best of 3 50 minutes in a harsh lens, I think. That boss sure is elusive, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah.
Oh, good rocks, that. Good bit of rocks.
I don't think I can do much more than that. So yeah. Big congratulations, gents. Well deserved. Thanks so much. Usually use your videos to buy decently meta stuff cheap. Yeah, the buy list seems to be quite popular, actually. Huge thanks to both of you for all the quality content. 30k well deserved, and wish you more success in the future. Thanks so much. Is the Joe's too old a meme, or is the internet actually bullying you? Joe, do you feel bullied?
It's Samuel Simku, so there's your answer. Yeah, you've done me in here. I can do that, certainly. You haven't got an energy, have you?
Oh, switch cart.
Nah. These games are super scrappy, dude. These games are so scrappy.
Yeah.
I only you into rocks to then get out.
Qualify for Worlds? Yes, we did.
Yeah, sure did.
In fairness, I did draw 7 cards that turn, but
yeah, because of the 2 you got, you were able to draw more, right? 3 you got.
I don't know what your answer is to this, Joe. What's the naughtiest thing you've ever done at a Pokemon event?
I really don't do many naughty things at Pokemon events. I really don't think I've done anything naughty.
Oh.
Have I? I don't know. I don't think I've done many naughty things. Naughty is such a funny descriptive word.
It's such a weird word.
Naughty. Naughty makes it sound like childish and
yeah,
juvenile almost. I don't think I've done many naughty things, to be honest.
What was the favourite best deck in format ever?
Ever do a naughty prize card peak? Nah. Sorry, what's the best deck ever?
What's the best deck in format ever? I think we've both challenged each other again, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, let me cancel.
Joining. Oh, I'm joining you. Oh,
No,
it's
you're
gone.
not. No, you're not. Right, let me... Hold on. You've sent me one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um... Well, Silver Tempest Lugia is the highest
Yes.
win rate one, right? That's the actual answer. Tempest
Oh,
Lugia
sorry. No.
is the most
No. The
polarizing
question
best
is
deck.
the question is favorite.
Oh, favorite
What's
best
your
deck.
favorite best deck in format?
Virgin?
People are gonna lynch me when I say. People are gonna lynch me when I say pre-boss ADP.
That was also a really good deck. And fun.
I liked pre-boss ADP.
Yeah, so this was pre-Rebel Clash, right?
Yeah. If you dare say ADP. Okay, let's carry on. Where are we? This was me describing my kitchen table.
Yeah.
Ben said, "Do you cram me into a tiny little room and force me to play card games?"
Yes, that's exactly what happens. The one thing... the room wasn't always that layout. There was a point where the table wasn't at an angle and it was exactly straight,
For all that happened.
and Jack was forced to crawl underneath the table to access the other side of the table in which to battle me. So he was physically trapped for hours on end.
Yeah.
Mike will tell the same story because it was also that setup when he had to go and I pushed him under the table.
Yeah.
I just fucking...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just swore. I just salivated laughing at that. And then I've ruined it. It's fine, I can edit these days. Great, that's gone. The swearing, not the salivating, that stays. That stays.
Oh, come on, game. You can do it. I've benched a card. There we go.
The old days when I said every intro every time because I didn't want to edit. I still say the intro, like, almost always. It's only edited videos where I do the intro the same. Does that make sense? So, like, the weekly recap videos and stuff like that, where they're all... Whenever I'm one-take Andying, I still just do the intro at the start. So I still rattle off the old catchphrase quite frequently.
Oh my god, this game is lagging so much. Come on, game. You can do it. There we go. Let's take this and this.
Have I ever done anything naughty when crawling under the table? Such a great question.
Can we get an OmniPoke calendar as a Patreon reward?
Oh, that is bog. Jack's actually had it now, boys.
What is your take on Todd's suggestion of change? It's all being advertised as Todd's suggestion because best of two is not a new thing. I think best of two is brilliant, personally. I think it's the solution. But
Todd is a genius for inventing best of two. Can we all just agree on that?
can we all agree that the numbers between 1 and 3 never existed until? until mentioned.
Todd literally
like,
invented
obviously
the
no
number 2.
no disrespect.
I don't know why you're getting
whatsoever,
angry at this,
but Best
Jack.
of 2 is a thing.
Jack, why are you getting angry?
Because Best of 2 is a thing.
No. It's a thing now.
2.
It's a thing since yesterday, sure.
Okay, we're pretty much caught up to when we started doing Twitch questions, so we can switch back to a new form of content for now. When you're ready to go.
Fab.
When was Twin Leaf supposed to be released? They never said. I'm really hopeful for Twin Leaf. I'm somewhat expecting it to not work out though, because it actively costs the Pokemon Company money if it's successful. So I think there is a real chance that we will have it for around 2 days before it gets.
No. I don't think that's true. Look at Showdown.
Showdown doesn't lose them money.
How does this lose them money?
Because people aren't buying codes.
But it's not like a 1-to-1 thing.
I know, but I think this has a way higher chance of getting eaten alive.
I think there's a higher chance, but I don't think it's a 1-day thing. Plus,
Unfortunately,
how bad of a look is that for the Pokemon Company?
But how bad of a look is live anyway? Like, they don't care, right?
I mean, they don't care enough to improve it. So
I really hope I'm wrong, but I think
that's. I think you are wrong.
I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to get eaten alive.
But like, look at all the other clients that are already out there that can play Pokemon, and they just don't do anything about it.
I think this will be. I think the benefit of those is that they don't look professional enough for them to care. I think because this will be such a.
But like throughout history, they haven't done that with any of them. Like even like back when it was PTCGO era just beginning, and people were like doing all the other.
But like none of them were. I don't think that any of them were particularly threatening. I think this. I think this will be threatening. This could be threatening enough to them that they are more likely to handle it differently. Personally, because it's. I don't know. I really like. I'm not. I really hope I'm wrong, because.
I'm hoping it's based. Like for me, I don't. It doesn't have to be much better than Untapped to be super usable for me. I think it just has to be essentially what Limitless Tabletop currently is, but you can play people online and you see 2 boards instead of 1. I think that's all it needs to be a functional, good thing for the community. Even if that's just their starting point.
Yeah, I hope so.
And
I know there's browser clients. I know there's browser clients already, Connor, but none of them threaten PCG Live like this. Like the people at Twin Leaf are saying Twin Leaf will, right? They're advertising it as a live replacement. Limitless isn't advertised, or not Limitless, I guess, but Untapped isn't advertised as a live replacement. It's a way to play Pokemon. This is, I think they have gone very ham on live is crap, we can do better, and I think they might have dug their own grave because of it. But I really, really hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think you're wrong. Anyway, next.
This hand is woeful. Sorry. Yeah, let's move to a new form of media.
Oh, so we're done with chat for now, are we?
Yeah, we can.
New questions coming in.
There are, but I think we're going to get into chat forever if we carry on with chat forever.
I feel like we can't reply to people though if.
That's true. Okay, we can.
I think we should get all the way we can to the bottom to like resolve some things that we were talking, because there'll be now responses to what we've initially said earlier. right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, this hand is so unbelievably bad. I need to like. Right. So where did I get to? I've just seen the words Durant Mill.
Yeah.
I actually think live is also tanking my internet, which is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
So I might need to. Oh, okay, that's fine. When did we get smacked with reality and that we weren't as good as we imagined? What is it? I assume that's in reference to us having a really successful.
Or it's a rude awakening about to happen.
About 15 minutes ago when you sent in that
Sorry,
line
what
of
do you
text,
mean?
actually.
I am brilliant. Let's just get that out there.
I'm yet to find out.
when
Please.
when will you accept that I'm brilliant? I mean,
Yeah, this has gone about as well as I expected. I mean, was that the same? That wasn't the same season that you won London, right?
no.
Then it was probably not long after.
What do you mean?
Not long after the double cities weekend that we ended up finding out we were crap.
Oh, worse than you thought was the actual phrase used. Jack,
not crap.
Jack, please. For me, I think it was ECC when I realised. Because, like, within the UK, success just. You didn't need to be that good to see success. So I was, like, sure, like, whiffing tournaments at times, but in the UK, we were cutting, like, a lot, and pretty consistently, I think. And we were in a fairly high bracket of the UK quite early in, I think. We probably weren't the top tier of the UK, but we were probably in that, like, probably top 30 players. Just, like, not really on the jump, but through towards 2015 and stuff, I think. That's pretty fair. Or, well, maybe more towards 2016. In 2015, yeah, okay, so a better answer is not really ECC. I think a better answer is through 2015 when we were playing regionals. I think that's when, for me. Probably. But ECC was like a whole other step for me because it was like the first international tournament. I was like, yes. You are nothing.
Other players good. I actually don't remember enough about older tournaments to know exactly when it was. I didn't go to ECC. I feel like I was probably, because I'd played for a year and a half at that point, I was probably a little bit more. It was probably more on the other side for me in that I was kind of surprised that I was doing well in Masters. I'm pretty sure that was my first season of Masters. And I'd not had no success in seniors, but I'd not had amazing success in seniors. So, yeah. How do you feel about festivals in Gardy? How do you feel about festivals in Gardy, Joe? You're playing one right now.
I'm playing one. It's broken. It's so good.
Broken.
So yeah, just for some extra context, the list I'm playing is the like no Palpad, no worker, kind of like Rowan's top 4 list rather than Cal Connor's. That's the differentiation I'm having right now between lists. I've got like the just good supporter triple stadium list, and then I've got the Palpad Penny worker list as like 2 different variations essentially. And the one I'm playing right now is like I'm just playing 4 Iono 2 Research, 2 Boss, and a Serena as my supporters. I'm playing no pad and I'm playing 3 stadiums. But I just think Champs Festival is so insanely strong into Arc, both Tina and Dura. And then it has the upside of like really good against Rapid Box as well for just trying to offset some early ping damage. And I think like I've always been a fan of Champs Fest anyway. It's almost like playing a second copy of Reversal Energy in that it helps you hit that 280 just so much more with Baby Guardy. So I think it's been busted for a long time and just underutilized. And I always like playing it.
Hmm.
What's Daniel Craig doing streaming with Jack? Hell of a haircut. No haircut's that good. Am I genius for ripping the research off the rocks? And that's the game.
Yeah, you might just be. I actually should have stabilized here. Yeah, I should have stabilized there.
Keep rec open for next turn for game. Yeah.
I lose the same number of cards this way and can still win next turn, whereas now I need 2 turns, so yeah.
Yeah, got ya.
Well, there's the collapsed anyway. Yeah, my PTG live is lagging like heck. This is so annoying.
I can just play ladder if you want to just take control of questions. That's also very fine.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that because I feel like we're also neglecting.
We're basically not answering. We're doing one answer an hour, Jack.
You play some ladder. Knight. Yeah.
God, he is good, isn't it? That is the thing about Guardy. It is good.
Why do you both pretend to like Paul Shale?
That's such a good question. Is that from Paul Shale?
Great question. Good question.
He cracked us up. Next.
It's my net that's lagging.
Because your video is boot, apparently. It might be because OBS Ninja's boot. You might just have too much going on.
Right, okay. What's next?
If we don't have any other... If we're getting towards the bottom of the chat, there's still Twitter and there's still the Omni Discord questions.
Yeah, we're nearly there. What's a mechanic you would like to see introduced or returned to the PCG? The PCG? The TCG.
I still really love the tag call supporters and tag call as a card concept that could get a mixture of Pokemon and supporter / like support cards, and then equally like Holland Transceiver I think is one of the like best designed cards in the game. So I'd love to see a reiteration of either like a tag call package or a Holland package. I think those are really well designed cards. Azul did that like mechanics tier list that I did a while back the other day, and man, our opinions are so different on what we think is good for the game. It's actually crazy. But it made me like look back at mine, and I was like, yeah, this is so different. So that was interesting to look at. Just in other news.
What would my mechanic be? Yeah, I like the tag call stuff. I really liked ancient traits and thought maybe we were getting it back with Terra stuff, but evidently not at the moment. Ancient traits were cool though. Anything else that stuck out? We actually have a lot of it right now. My answer used to be GX attacks, and we have V-Star powers, which are really cool. I like that they're now abilities now as well, which is interesting.
I'm putting the dog down as bait, by the way, if anyone's wondering, because we have 2 rolls prized. So we're putting this.
How long do you think you'll be doing Omnipoke for?
Oh, now that is a question, isn't it? That is a question. That is the question.
That's from James Cox.
Oh, I see. He wants.
He's scouting us out, is he?
Wants
Scouting us out.
Yeah.
Very clever, James.
Yeah.
Very clever.
Well, something I'm going back and forth on a lot, to be honest with you. There's times where I feel super incredibly motivated to do it, and there are times when I really don't. I mean, I don't think I'll ever step away from the... Well, not ever, but I am going to stay involved in Pokemon for sure for a long time still, I think. The amount of work we're putting into the channel is a lot right now, and I don't know if it's sustainable in the way that we're doing it right now.
Yeah,
so we need to. So we actively need to think of creative solutions to the work-life balance that we both have right now. I think that's our biggest challenge, and how we overcome that is going to dictate how much longer we can do this for, I think.
Yeah. For me, no, I don't think this is like, don't take this and run with it, James or Chad. But I think OmniPoke is 10 years old next year, and I think that's naturally a very good time for us to look at how things have changed and look at how our personal situations have changed, look at how much we want to carry on playing the game, making content. We could sit down and have a conversation and you end up with even more content. I think that's unlikely, but it's like, it's not like we're done after 10 years, but I think naturally, like me and Joe have already kind of spoken, naturally, that's going to be quite a good natural point at which we will be able to reflect on things, I think. I don't want to go crazy, but there's actually a lot of stuff I would like to look at next year in terms of the fact that we've been doing it for 10 years. There's a couple of videos I really want to make, sort of looking back at how our content has changed and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think it's a good time to look at things. For me, I have, at the moment, I can sit here and say I have every intention of getting my Worlds invite next year. But I think if Worlds is not in a location that I'm interested in, I probably actually won't play next year. I've decided, which is going to be weird. But I've basically looked into how much of my time I'm spending playing the game and thinking about Pokemon and stuff. And like Joe, I don't think I will ever not be involved in some capacity. But I think my involvement of the game will probably change sooner rather than later. And I actually think, someone's literally just said it, I actually think it will probably be quite good for both of us. Potentially good for both of us mentally to take a step back for a little while. And just sort of, like, we've been doing Omnipoke for 10 years, but I've been playing for 3 more years than that. So I've been playing this game for now half of my life, which is mental.
Me too.
And yeah, life changes, I guess. I'll never not be interested. I will always, I think, I don't know about you, Joe, but I feel like I will always want to do set reviews, even if that's pretty much the only content we end up doing, because I think they're the kind of videos I really enjoy doing, taking like set reviews and like first impressions and that kind of stuff. So I think there will always be content on OmniPoke, but yeah, it's an interesting conversation, and one that I think we've both kind of resigned ourselves to the fact that it's going to be a conversation we have sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
If you had to be a collector or a competitor, which would you choose? That's a great question. For me, competitor, because I'm not the biggest collector, but I am very interested in your answer.
Competitor. Competitor's still my main drive. Like, collecting's just a nice thing that I've done slowly, like, over a number of years. But yeah, definitely competitor is what is my main engagement with the game.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite Ed Sheeran song, Joe?
You Need Me, I Don't Need You is
That's
my
a
favorite
great one. That is a great one.
And I also like Sing. Those are two very good Ed Sheeran songs. I'm not a massive Ed Sheeran fan, but I do rate a good amount of his songs.
Yeah, those are two great ones. I like Castle on the Hill, and one that not many, the one that I don't think he released as a single is Eraser. Is a really good one. That I found through him doing an acoustic version of that was actually way better than the real one. But like the studio one.
Yeah.
I prefer the acoustic one. But yeah.
Interesting.
Again, I'm not the biggest Ed Sheeran fan, but I like a lot of his songs.
He's done so many genres that it's easy to like something that he's done at some point.
Yeah, there's not many people that don't like an Ed Sheeran song, like you say, because he's done so many different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We whiffed. Crap.
Did either of us win any of the raffles for Worlds?
Yes.
We did.
Do you want to say what you got, Jack?
To do so. And what did I get? I got the Pokemon Center, which obviously I think a lot of people applied before getting confirmation that competitors would get access. But so yeah, I got Pokemon Center. I got I got the park. I can't remember what the park's called.
Matsuri
Is it
Park.
Matsuri?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that, which is great because that's the one that me and my girlfriend really wanted to do. That was like that was the big one that wasn't the center that we really wanted to do. So that's I was glad that I got that one. And then I also got the drone show. I was really lucky. I got 3 of the 4 I went for.
Yeah. That is busted. So I also got Matsuri. And then I got one of the live shows, the one that's called like Imagination, I think it's called. So yeah, those are the 2 I got.
Yeah, so I think we have different live shows. That's cool as well. Hopefully, I think in our group there's a few different people who got different things potentially. So we can hopefully have a small group outing to a few of them.
Yeah,
and you get a photo at Worlds, of course.
Got to find us. We're pretty quick.
Yeah,
we are zooming around. But no, yes, definitely. Right.
Is there any consideration to Hisui and Heavy Ball and Guardy?
Well, I have prize 2 rolls this game, so I'm thinking about it exactly now. Yeah. Certainly.
Can't think of a life without Omni ratings. Ooh, dark time. I think you'd personally ever quit with all the fun you've had in Fringe of Me.
Bloody misplayed.
There's no way that Joe and I will ever not play Pokemon.
Well,
like that's just not going to happen anytime soon. But
for a while, sure. Oh, I have misplayed, and now I can't win the game. I should have just.
Is a banger. Is Drifloon good in Guardy? I think it's.
Guys, it wasn't a misplay. I've just decided it wasn't. So there.
I think we've seen that Drifloon is not the way to play.
Rolls. I took prizes.
Guardy.
I prized 2 rolls at the start. Sorry.
If will there be cubing at Worlds and is it open to the public? I don't know whether anyone's bringing a cube.
Well, I am, right? Because the Discord has decided that I should. I asked our Discord if we should.
Which cube are you bringing?
So I'm going to proxy up a cube, And I don't know if it's either going to be an iteration of Mike's Lost Zone thing, or it might be Soda King's Scoop Up Net Cube, which I was also super interested in.
If it's Soda King's Scoop Up Net Cube, given that it was Soda King asking if they could play, I feel like it would be a good cube to try.
Because he's already done it, and I want other people to experience it. So, sorry, Soda.
Fair enough. There you go, Soda King.
That is unfortunate.
Joe, are you playing or behind the booth, or can't you say?
Oh, not because I wouldn't be allowed to say, which I wouldn't be allowed to say if I was. In spite of that, you have to trust me in that I am actually playing. So, yeah, playing for sure.
If Worlds was tomorrow, what deck would you register for your 60? I really like Lost Tina and Arc Tina.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think Lost Tina would be my choice
How
right
would you
now
fix
as well.
Expanded?
Sorry, you're lagging, Jack. What was it?
How'd you fix Expanded? We've already kind of chatted about
Yeah.
Expanded. I think... Oh, am I? Yeah. I'm going to turn my internet off and on again. Hold on.
How many times have I been mistaken for Ed Sheeran? Good amount. Luckily, I'm
back.
getting large enough that people just don't associate me with Ed Sheeran again. So, probably need to lose more weight before I start getting called Ed Sheeran again. But when I was younger, it used to always be Ron Weasley when I was growing up. And because I lived near Oxford and I would hang out in Oxford a lot when I was a young teenager, there's like a lot of tourists in the summer, and man, the amount of Asian tourists that wanted to get photos of me holding a stick or something else, because I looked vaguely like, well, I suppose to Asian tourists quite a lot like Ron Weasley. That happened a lot.
Yeah. Right, let's head to Twitter for some Twitter questions, shall we?
Should I give this Guardy a free artisan? That's the question. It gives them a free Mew, which gives them potential high roll. But do I think I give up my advantage of going first? I because I've gone first, I should still artisan, right? And just take it, like, if I still take the first prize, I still just batter this guy, right? Let's go. Me drawing better than him is more important than him drawing good, because he is a turn behind me, right? I should just give myself the extra earlier.
Would you rather fight 100 lion-sized chickens or 10 chicken-sized lions?
It's actually a terribly unbalanced question.
Yeah.
Because the larger creature is also in the higher quantity. So you 100% take the 10 chicken-sized lions. There is no question about that. The only difficulty is their increased intelligence and pack mentality, which would still make it a very difficult fight, for sure.
Yeah.
But you 100% lose the 100 lion-sized chickens, I think. They don't even need to be vaguely, like, mobilizing or doing anything. You just get you could get stampeded and just lose.
Yeah.
Right, do I roll
10 chicken-sized lions, just 10 small cats?
Do I roll for candy here? I play 2 candy. I guess the only downside is if I hit, like, level ball, then I'm baited into level ball, keeping the Guardy EX. So I think I just play the Iona here.
Helps has asked, Joe deck versus Jack deck when? That's quite a funny one.
It's a good series. Oh, not series. It was a good one-off video when I was bored that one time.
Yeah.
The Joe deck. I also looked at the meta, and I think I'm unfavoured.
Excellent. Do you ever think about taking the leap into full-time content creation from our friend Zapdos TCG, who also says, well deserved? Thanks.
It's definitely... It's such a weird thing that we're slowly growing and but like not to a point where we could sustain, especially as a two-person channel.
No.
You definitely just can't justify not having a job unless you do the whole like coaching, streaming 6 hours a day, which I mean you could, but I think it's like a hell of a tough living. Hell of a tough living. So you know when we were saying like how much longer could this go on for? I don't know if going full time would either make me happier or sadder and actually push me towards not wanting to do anything anymore. It's like I actually don't know if it would be good or bad for the overall longevity of the channel, to be honest with you. So yeah.
I personally think it would be bad.
Yeah, I mean, it easily could be bad.
I think that at the moment there are too many issues with the game for it to be a motivator for me. Like
as in Pokemon or Live or
both, I guess.
You think there's? I think the game's in one of the best places it's been in the last like 4 or 5 years. Honestly,
I think the game is. I think
I'm super motivated to play Pokemon right now.
I think tournaments and tournament structure and invite structure and all of that. I think Pokemon is great right now.
Yeah.
I think tournaments and tournament structure and the grind for invite and not invite. I guess because the other thing is like
that's getting better as well this season, right?
Hopefully.
I mean, it is. You have locals.
Yeah. It should be. Yeah, I think live also makes it considerably harder than it ever was for it to be motivating.
Live also just hurts your viewership so much. In general, I feel there's it's just anecdotal evidence so often that people don't want to watch live that's also really demotivating. That you know that it could be years until your content's actually watchable for a wide audience. It's actually so sad.
Yeah, I think what you've basically hit the nail on the head of where I was coming to. I think if we were to go full time, it would have to be Pokemon alongside something else.
So I've never really thought about variety streaming, or not even necessarily variety streaming, but doing. Yeah, I guess.
I think at the moment with the current state of Pokemon trading card game, that's the only way that it's sustainable if you're not Azul level good at this game, or
tick next,
or like consistently asked to commentate enough for it to be a reliable additional income.
Yeah, that's also not happening.
And also, you need a source of income from either coaching or like you need another. I think essentially, YouTube Pokemon TCG YouTube is not a sustainable source of income. So you need to have multiple revenue streams.
Yeah.
And I think because I don't think I would want to coach, and because I don't think I would want to. Well, I don't think you can reliably rely on. I don't think you rely on casting to be a sustainable revenue stream, and I don't think I'm as good as Azul, believe it or not. I think it would. I think the only other option that isn't like a full-time job or like an actual, even if it's just a part-time job, is some sort of variety, i.e., more Pokemon games or another TCG or whatever.
Yeah.
And I have realized that amount of commitment really burns you out from a game.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do it with like Hearthstone or Marvel Snap or Battlegrounds or anything like that because it would last about 2 weeks before I was bored and would want to play something else. I genuinely think the only way that I could do it is if I was a variety streamer playing games I actually wanted to play that had a finite ending.
Yeah. Story games, story based.
Yeah.
Or at least challenge. Because, like you could do a finite challenge with a conclusion.
Yeah. I think and that's kind of where my head's at in terms of for me, why I don't think this is something that could be taken full time, because I think the problem with that is then it's such a high barrier to entry because everyone wants to play games for a living that what separates you out from anyone else. Now, the very fortunate thing we have is the fact that 30,000 of you have decided to subscribe to our YouTube channel already, so we have a leg up compared to someone new. But it has been evident from other content we've done that even the 30,000 people that have subscribed for Pokemon TCG. Like, they're not even anywhere near as interested in Pokemon VG, which would theoretically be the one game they would be interested in, right?
Yep.
So even that 30,000 leg up actually probably equates to like maybe 2.5K at best in terms of actual people that would want to watch your content.
Yep.
So it's I think it's a very, very tough sell without looking into some of the other things that we mentioned, like putting time into merch or Patreon or whatever, which again is just another way of.
But Jack, what if I open my mouth wider?
That is, yeah.
What if they could see my tonsils? Genuine question.
I mean, should we do a poll in the chat?
It's pathetic. Right. Yeah.
What's
good answer.
What's next? I'm trying to switch between Twitter and stream. Can't think of a live in that Omni rating.
Mr. Shani, thanks so much for the sub, by the way. We really don't deserve subs on Twitch. We really don't deserve it.
Are you going to a karaoke bar in Tokyo?
Rab might try and drag us there.
Yeah, I have a feeling Tamal's going to as well.
I think if it's pods, I'd be super up for it. Because I don't like... I like, I suppose, letting loose and having fun when I feel like in a safe environment where, like, everyone's having fun together. But when it's, like, lots of random people, I don't want that. So I think if we can get into a pod, I'd be, like, so up for it.
Yeah.
But I'd be... Yeah, I really wouldn't want to if it was just, you know, you're standing there and the whole bar or whatever is watching.
What's some of your itinerary for Japan, and what things are you doing outside of Worlds and Pokemon? We're going to... Joe arrives about a week before me, so I don't know what you've got planned for the week before, but when we're both there, both doing the Pokemon Cafe, I believe you said you're interested in the Ghibli Museum, which we were able to get tickets for, which was... amazing, but also one of the worst days of my life because I had 3 hours sleep that day, which was horrible.
Cheers. You and some soldiers.
We're doing something called Play Labs, which is like an audio visual experience, which looks really good. There's going to be loads of they're the only things that we've like nailed down, but there's going to be I think for me, I don't know about you, but for me, one of the things I'm most looking forward to is going around some of like the thrift stores.
Yep.
Finding random old Pokemon stuff that you didn't know existed that all of a sudden is then your favorite thing in the world. Yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, so because I'm there earlier, I get to do a couple of day trips to different cities. So we're trying to do Kyoto, Osaka, at least those. Yeah, we're staying in Tokyo for a week as our base camp, and then I'm going to Yokohama after. So I should be able to get a really good, just full picture of Japan, which is going to be awesome.
Definitely. You need to pull a Mahone or an Azul to be able to go full time. Yeah, I mean, like, what Mahone does is I personally think kind of like the dream for a full-time Pokemon. I prefer Mahone's setup to Azul's because Azul plays a lot of Pokemon, and it's all like on live. Whereas if we were to do it, or for me, if it were to be full-time, there would have to be some element of IRL in there, and I think Mahone's setup for like IRL and stuff is really, really cool.
All you had to do was move in, Jack. So simple.
But yeah, so there's that's again another thing for me. If it was to realistically be full time, there would need to be some kind of. I think there would need to be some
just grinding
element
live would be so monotonous.
And it's like the other difficult thing is, I feel like if we were to go full time, we would have more time to do editing, but I would actually also want a better editor than what I'm capable of, which is obviously then another like thing that you have to factor in financially. Because if I'm going full time, I want like the best of the best content.
Yep. To take the plunge, like for the risk to be worth it, we would need like a massive jump in viewership.
Yeah.
And you basically have to just hope that with editing comes the viewership for a wider audience. And we're still within a niche, so it's still not guaranteed.
Yeah. Time start streaming Bob. Yeah. Battleground streams when? Everyone's Battleground streams? No.
My MMR is toilet. I misplay almost every game.
When is it? When is it? When is the Omnipoke League of Legends streams? I think I've played a grand total of 3 games of League of Legends, and I was truly woeful at it.
Yeah, I've never played League.
Congrats on 30k subs. Paul loves LOL. He spent 2,000. He spent 2k a month on cosmetics. That's insane. When is Bernard's face going to be in every thumbnail? Just do pog thumbnails and you're sorted.
Yeah. That is the mistake.
This is the other thing. We're too stubborn to do. We're too stubborn as well.
I mean, I've never wanted to click on a video because of someone's pog face. So I just think it's toilet.
Mahone's old format tabletop content is pog. I prefer what Mahone does too. There's no disrespect to Azul at all. It's just I couldn't play the amount of Pokemon he plays on a client that is, well, on this client.
I mean, Mahone can't play that much on the client. That's why he's made an IRL setup.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, it's no disrespect to Azul. Like, in fact, if anything, it's respect to Azul for being able to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Kebab or pizza and why? From Shea Burton.
Pizza.
I'm a pizza. Yeah, I'm a pizza man. And what advice would you give to people who want to get started in content creation or casting but haven't taken the leap yet?
We've been quite down on it quite a lot today.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So, for step 1, forget it.
For me, it's create content you would want to watch.
Yeah.
And kind of similarly, cast in a way you would want to listen. That analogy doesn't work as well, but yeah, don't try and be disingenuous. Be yourself, and also, but yeah, for content wise, definitely create the kind of content you would want to watch, because you will naturally just be more passionate about it, and it will naturally just produce better videos.
If you're forcing anything, it will be a grind, and you won't keep up with it. And obviously, part of being a content creator in this noisy day and age where there's a lot of competition, you have to be motivated to do it a lot and dedicate a lot of time to it. Just for reference, I spend between like 2 and 4 hours a day on a mixture of prep, recording, editing, that sort of thing, and I'm part-time, so you have to accept that it's an insane grind. So, like, as much as I would say do it and jump in, you have to be really willing to put in a lot of time.
Yeah, you
need to be happy doing what you're doing, basically.
It's always the cliche stuff, but you've got to do it because you want to do it, not because you want to see the payout from it.
Yeah.
Because it turns it from work into pleasure. What's the one non-Pokemon thing we're looking forward to in Japan? That's from Brennan Kammerman. for me, it's the Ghibli Cafe. I am actually more excited about that than pretty much anything else. I think, even like the Pokemon Cafe and
it is
stuff.
gonna rock, isn't it? The Ghibli Cafe.
Yeah,
It's gonna be absolutely dope.
yeah. Me and Laura are watching some
Can't wait.
Ghiblis this weekend in preparation.
You frog. I think for me, it's going to be a lot of the food, to be honest. I'm really looking forward to doing a sushi bar, ramen. Me and Tim are watching a ton of like Japanese food based videos. So just experiencing that, experiencing the city. I love just wandering through cities. I find it really interesting. So we're going to do a lot of that stuff. I'm going to be jumping in and out of buildings just for aircon every like 10 minutes. So I'm going to. I think the thing I'll enjoy most is walking into aircon after like a 5-minute walk. That'll probably be my highlights of Japan.
Yeah.
So yeah. I thought about
And
maybe
Adam's
like doing.
food
I thought
problem.
about maybe doing some vlog style content and just doing like a ton of videos on my phone, like chopping it up all at the end. I've never done like vlog style content before, but I feel like I will literally be a human puddle in almost every one of the videos. So I think it will just look terrible. I'll look. What's the thing you'll notice, Jack, from Doctor Who? That's just the thing that's literally just like sludge.
Oh,
I literally just ooze in
well,
a chair.
there's
Loads of
loads.
loads.
There's
But yeah,
loads.
that's what I'm thinking of. What's the one?
There's the absorber off.
I've just typed in Doctor Who ooze.
Yeah.
Sludge head. These are great. These are brilliant.
Try the absorber off. He was played by Peter Kay.
Absorb off. Yeah. We're talking absorber off. We're talking.
He's from the planet Clom.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Ah.
Right, what's next? Adamsville Jim has said, "What are your top 5 favorite movies and albums?" Jack and Joe, congrats. I think long-time watchers know about your favorite decks and Pokemon. Favorite movies and albums. Albums I'm going to tap out with because I don't really have favorite albums. I kind of feel like with the age of Spotify, albums are sort of a thing of the past. Even though artists still release albums, I think there's so much access to music on services like Spotify and stuff now that a lot of the time albums aren't like, I don't think, oh, someone's released a new album. A lot of the time it's, oh, someone's released a new single because
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tap out a little bit with that one. Favorite movies, I'm just a massive superhero buff. I love the Dark Knight trilogy. I love the good Marvel stuff. I really like Inception. I really like Christopher Nolan, to be honest. I'm very excited to go and see Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing that tomorrow, actually. My brother wants to do the double. He wants to do...
He wants to do Barbie and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
My question is always, what should we do first, is my question.
I think Oppenheimer, because I think you're probably going to need a sort of a come down.
Yeah, so I think the same thing, but mostly because Oppenheimer's so long, I want the Barbie thing to like be that sort of pick me up to see me through that last, that fifth hour of being in the cinema.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any other?
So yeah,
any other films?
I like. What other films do I really like? I'm also a bit of just an action movie buff. I found a lot of films that people don't like critically. I think I'm a very simple person in that if like I'm tricked into
tricked
liking liking stuff that isn't that good. Like there was a film on that came out on Netflix last year with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling called what was it called? Oh, it was just in my head. It was like an action film where Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans shot at each other, and it was critically everyone was like, "This is truly woeful." But I watched it and I was like, "This is just great because it's just lots of big explosions and stuff." So I think I'm quite a simple person in that, yeah. But I really like the on the on the inverse. I really like how interconnected like the Marvel films are and stuff. I'm also a sucker for a cinematic universe. So
Fair. Uh, well, I'm similar to you in that albums. I really wouldn't know what albums have been out in the last like decade, I guess. So I was thinking of things like Demon Days from Gorillaz. I was thinking
yeah, that's a good one.
Stadium Arcadium from Chili's. What was one of the first Arctic Monkeys ones? I really like old Arctic Monkeys. El Camino from Black Keys. A few of those came to mind, but they're probably not my favorite like bands now, I guess. So yeah, it's all kind of like a dated view just because of how albums are. For films, I also have. I think The Dark Knight is my favorite film
Yeah,
of all time. I love Tarantino's, so I would put the likes of Pulp Fiction way up there. I also really like court-based films, so where it's lawyers and a case, and it's that sort of setup. So A Few Good Men is fantastic. Primal Fear is really good. Silence of the Lambs is another like thriller that I absolutely love. So I've watched like a ton of great films, and obviously it depends on what mood. I mean, Gladiator's another one that sticks out. There's some that I could just watch over and over again. So I'd find it hard to boil it down to five.
yeah, yeah. I definitely couldn't do five.
So many great films for so many reasons.
When in your views did the bad Marvel films start? I don't think they started. I think there's been bad Marvel films all the way through. I think people give the latest stuff a bit of a hard time because there was always going to be this massive come down after Endgame. So I think it doesn't really matter what they could have done. Everyone would have seen them as trash in comparison. Um, I think they're definitely worse than they were. Like they're obviously worse films than like Endgame and stuff, but that's that's the problem that uh, that's the problem that or the situation that they've kind of caused themselves, right? That stuff can only get better and better until it gets worse, and then like everyone's like, "Oh, this is terrible." And it's like, yeah, it's not great right now, but if every game was like Endgame, then Endgame wouldn't be so special. So I think it's just testament to how good the good stuff was, rather than how bad the new stuff is. Like there's no denying there's definitely some real stinkers that Marvel have put out over the past couple of years. But
I would need to have hit. Oh man, I needed to hit either off Arcana, or I needed to hit Champs Fest. If I hit Champs Fest there, I can kill this.
Mike is trying to pit us against each other, Joe.
7, 8, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. How so?
He's said if Jack gives up Omnipoke, let's become Omni Joe and Omni Mike. And then the next message, if Joe gives up Omnipoke, let's become Omni Jack and Omni Mike. He's just
yeah. Hedge your bets. Hedge your bets.
very clever, Mr. Gregan. Very clever. Where do you think Worlds will be next year, or where would you like it to be? Where would you like Worlds to be next year, Joe?
Well, I definitely think it will be in the US. Where would I like it to be? You know, I've not been to New York, so I'd kind of like it to be in New York. I also think Florida would be cool, or California, just places I haven't really been to yet, and the US.
Yeah. I think it will be Canada.
That would also be awesome.
I would like that. I would like it to be California, Florida, New York. I would like it to be Australia, but it's probably not going to happen. But yeah, realistic
You wouldn't want it
places.
to be Australia because you've got ICs. You've always got opportunities to go to Australia.
Yeah,
Don't waste a world in Australia when you can just go to an IC and do it.
yeah. I don't know. I think worlds will always be special wherever it is. But yeah, I I have absolutely no information. But if I were to put 10p on it, I would say I'm going to go Canada next year. I think we'll definitely be back
North
in the
America.
North America zone, but I don't know whether it will be actually North America, or whether it might be like a Canada or a Hawaii or something. The other place I think it might be is Hawaii, but I don't know whether they would be conscious of two very expensive Worlds locations
Back to
in a
back.
row. I don't know whether that would be like a factor or not.
Might be.
Does pineapple go on pizza?
No. Wouldn't have thought so. If we wanted to keep it down.
My internet is dying again. I can't hear Joe anymore. He's gone.
Hello.
Maybe the stream can't hear me anymore. Hello.
Well, we can hear you, Jack. I know that's not helpful until you hear this.
I can hear you.
Hello.
Does pineapple go on pizza has been asked again. I have no issue with it, personally.
I don't have an issue with it, I just wouldn't do it.
The thing about the pineapple on pizza thing is if you don't like it, just don't get a pineapple pizza.
Yeah. I'm not emotional about it, I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah? Just don't get one. I also really like pineapple though, so I'm kind of biased. Alrighty, what's next? How wild are the after parties and behind the scenes of the events you've casted?
uh,
How wild are they, Joe?
really not wild. I mean, most of the time
everyone's knackered by the end of it.
Yeah, we're normally shattered. Almost every day of commentary, you're shattered. Sunday's the real... So, like, it'll be, like, maybe a couple drinks and an unwind. At most. Pretty much most evenings. And then on the Sunday, we all just play Pokemon. You're literally... After casting, you're so hungry to play Pokemon. It's so weird, because none of the stakes are on you and you haven't had to go through the, like, painful decisions or the bricks or the highs and lows. We get to see it, like, from such a great lens and enjoy the game in such, like, a pure way as casters, and it makes you super want to play the game. So we just cube, basically. So it's mostly just us, again, having, like, casual drinks, maybe, but then even, like, Chip and Puka, they don't drink. So it's just playing Pokemon. So sure, it'll go on to the early hours, but it's not crazy.
Yeah, it's just
playing
some Pokemon.
It's just playing more poke. It's more of the same. They brought us on to talk about Pokemon, and then guess what? We just want to play Pokemon.
Yeah.
There's definitely flat surface jokes about the casters of whenever we see one, we'll try and play Pokemon in the downtime. And that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Do you like the direction they're taking the game, and what could they do to really push a healthy format again? We've already kind of said the format. I think we're both pretty happy with the format right now. I don't think there's anything they need to do to push a healthy format. I think that it's interesting that it's been in the past couple of days that the tournament structure has come up again. I think that's probably one of the bigger points of contention right now. So I think the format's fine, but people are always going to find fault with something. So and it's the tournament structure right now rather than the format. Do we like the direction that they're taking the game? I mean, things like Iono are great. Joe, I'm interested in your thoughts on put them pushing stage twos.
I mean, everyone
Given that you're
hates the fact that best of three is a thing right now because of stage twos. So
Yep.
you get what you ask. You get what you. Just tag teams are great, aren't they? Right, hold on. I need to figure out my turn. I need to hit 270. So I don't need this energy, right? I can sack it off.
Yeah, I think we're both pretty happy with the game right now, though. How did you get into cubing, and what are your guys' favorite non-Pokemon TCGs to cube? Have you ever cubed anything that's not Pokemon TCG?
Yes, I've done a Yu-Gi-Oh cube once.
Oh, how was that?
It was okay. I did it way back at uni actually with my uni house, and it was all really old, early Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I introduced them to cubing, so I already knew it at the time, obviously, and it was really fun. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, I did not know you'd played a Yu-Gi-Oh cube. I did not know you know I played Yu-Gi-Oh, to be honest.
I mean,
I
the Yu-Gi-Oh players would tell you the standard wasn't really.
oh.
Sure, we were playing Yu-Gi-Oh in the purest sense, sure.
In the same
Um,
in the same way that each energy card you attach, it means your attacks do 10 more damage.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Uh,
I have never played a non-Pokemon cube. I have drafted in games before, like Hearthstone, but I have never played a cube draft of any other game.
there you go. Yu-Gi-Oh is
When
actually a
you
pretty good draft format, I think. Well, at least when it's
Yeah.
like every. We were basically think of like a pauper cube where, in Magic, where the power level was really low and boot, and it was us just trying to take the best 4-star monsters basically in a couple of. Think of like your childhood bunch of cards. That's what we drafted
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Excellent.
I won. For anyone
When are we
wondering.
going to do training sessions? We already kind of discussed this. Coaching is not something that we will be going into anytime soon.
No.
Congrats on the 30K. Besides Pokemon, I love going to gigs and festivals. What bands and artists are your favorites to listen to? At the moment, I am actually really into video game soundtracks. I've been listening to a lot of old video game soundtracks at work and also movie soundtracks. I I like a lot of older UK and American rap outside of that. But yeah, at the moment, what's scratching my itch is Spyro was today's. I listened to the Spyro soundtrack whilst I was at work, which was very nostalgic. I enjoyed a bit of Spyro.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about my turn.
Benji's doing a Yu-Gi-Oh draft this weekend. You bought 5 booster boxes. I did see your tweet, Benji. I was going to reply saying wrong game. How come you're doing a Yu-Gi-Oh draft? What's brought that up? What are our opinion on calzone pizzas? Really hot, hotter than normal pizzas.
True.
Unnecessarily hot. Have we tried One Piece? No. I have not tried One Piece. I think you have, right, Joe?
Haven't tried it. I know the rules.
Oh, okay. 20th anniversary booster boxes. Oh, cool. Is there some old school cards that I'd recognize from
Yeah.
the first season of the anime?
Yes.
It's
So
it's
I
a
know.
celebration style set, is it?
No, there's loads of them. So I think there's like the first 5 sets, They've reprinted just with a logo that says 25 on them, basically. So I think
really
Celebrations
cool.
type, but it's literally like the first 5 booster boxes, I think it is.
Actual sets.
I'm
That's really
also
cool.
I'm interested in them because they're like £70 each or something. They're nothing. So to have that nostalgic element, it's something that's interesting to me as well.
Are you planning on trying Lorcana? This is the only other thing that I think. This is the only other avenue that I think could randomly end up with us going into full-time content creation. Is if we found a new TCG that we really liked and were first on the scene with an already established viewership, like if we really liked, say, Lorcana and we decided to make Lorcana videos and were naturally one of the leading Lorcana YouTubers that had, like, typically the first ones often do quite well. But I think for me, I have never found a game that scratches the itch like Pokemon does.
My name's Jack, and I like Lorcana.
I am interested in like Lorcana as an IP just because it's all of the Disney characters, which is pretty cool. Yeah, no idea on the actual rules or anything though.
So I thought about this for Flesh and Blood when that first came out. I was actually making videos in the background and honestly, genuinely really thought about making a Flesh and Blood second channel. I also think Battle Spirit Saga is a super interesting game mechanically, and I think very well done. And that would be tempting. But I feel like you do have to be not necessarily from the jump, but pretty early on to it.
Yeah, I like even with Battle Spirit Saga, I feel like we've probably missed the boat.
I don't know about Mr. Boat. I think it's early enough.
Maybe.
But it's also just like, it's a big risk with games like that where you can put time into it, the channel can grow and stuff, but then there'll be a day where these games might just die. And I feel like Pokemon has a horizon of like 10 years even after they stop creating new stuff. So I think like Pokemon as a game is so stable and healthy that it could easily be going for like, I feel like the 30-year horizon, there's still going to be cards being printed probably.
Yeah, definitely.
And you just don't have that security with any new game. So if you put time, energy, money, all that stuff into a different game, you can just end up with egg on your face after like 2 years of trying it. But I guess that's the risk you're trying to take. And most people with new card games, it's always like a secondary game for people. So there's also that, in that most people commit more time to other things, and then this has to be your secondary. But if you're not that engaged, you get found out as a content creator. I feel like you have to put in a huge amount of work to maintain a useful and helpful and interesting and fun channel to something.
Yeah. Pokemon also has nostalgia value for collecting if you ever decide to sell. That's true. I think that's why I'm marginally interested in Lorcana, is because Disney is such a big IP that it, like, the potential player base is so massive. But I've also heard that the rules are pretty terrible, like mechanically. So
I've heard it's Keyforge-esque.
Oh, okay. I actually played a little bit of Keyforge. Keyforge was interesting.
Yeah.
I invested in some Keyforge cards back at uni. I really liked the art style of Keyforge. That was what I liked the most about that game, is that I really liked how the cards looked. They were very vibrant and very interesting. But yeah, again, like, as with everything though, for me to feel like I want to invest time into looking into another game, I would need to not play Pokemon for a year probably. Like I keep saying I want to. They've done some interesting stuff with Marvel Snap over the past couple of months that I really want to try Marvel Snap again. Not for any reason other than I'm kind of interested in what they've done over the past couple of months. But like every minute I spend not playing, like playing another competitive game that isn't Pokemon, especially with like Worlds coming up, but even any tournaments, even if it was just League Cups or League Challenges or whatever, I think I'm always in my own head about, not should you be doing this, but you know what I mean. I really probably should be playing more Pokemon or whatever, which is a really bad mindset because it means I actually end up not doing a lot of the things I want to do in fear of like hurting how well I'm going to do at Pokemon. But then if I don't want to play Pokemon, I end up just not really doing anything. And it's like, no, the mind shit should just be, do the thing you want to do, and if not doing well at a Pokemon event suffers for it, that's kind of bad. But equally, you had fun doing the thing that you wanted to do, right? Rather than getting in your own head about, I don't want to do this or that or the other, and then just not doing it, not being happy with anything you've done at the end of the day. And the same issue when you try getting into any game competitively. The fighting game community is especially like that. Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard.
I did really enjoy playing Flesh and Blood, though. I still listen to content about Flesh and Blood, even though I haven't touched the game for a good few months. I still think that's an awesome game.
That's the same with me and Hearthstone. I haven't played for a long time, but I still actively listen to content because I used to enjoy the game enough to still be interested, sort of recreationally.
Yeah.
And sort of dip my toe in every now and again. Like I wasn't really interested in the last set at all. I'm really interested in this set, so I'll probably play this set, and then if I'm not interested in the next set, then I'll dip out again. That's kind of my relationship with Hearthstone now. I look cool after not having played for a year. Yeah, it does. That's why I'm hooked again. Single favorite card in Standard right now. What's your single favorite card?
Probably Iono, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know how the answer is not Iono, I think.
Yeah. Good bit of kit.
I'll accept Gardevoir EX.
Gardevoir's pretty good.
Do you do this full time, or do you guys have a 9 to 5 as well? And have you ever tried ranch dressing? Which question do you want to take, Joe? First, do you want to
Well, yes to
take
ranch.
the heavy hitter? Oh, you've gone with a heavy hitter first.
I've gone with the most important answer, which is yes. I have had ranch dressing.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, no complaints. I don't think it's my top tier of condiment, but
Dressings.
it's fine. Full time? No,
Yeah.
Neither of us are full time. I work 35 hours a week, so not full time work. I'm reduced hours, but yeah, we both have real jobs in air quotes.
Very much in air quotes. Yeah, I'm also full time in
have I
software
whiffed?
development.
This is he just so lucky. Sorry. Right, I need to not attach to the one with 60 hit points. Good.
we good? All good?
Sorry, I'm just fuming. Yeah, carry on.
Excellent. Yeah, neither of us are full time content creation. We both have 9 to 5s. So well deserved. Keep up the great work. Thanks so much. It's another question about why we pretend to like Shale. Lovely.
Go on.
Just there, isn't he?
Oh, it's the same. It's the same question.
Yeah.
Not even reworded. Just again. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Joe, what's your favourite GLC deck? How about that? Joe, when was the last time you played GLC?
Last time I played GLC was probably...
Didn't you and Mike play some?
No. I was going to build decks, but too much effort to go bulk diving. I have some GLC decks built on Cube Koga. Let's see what my favourite ones of those are. Cube Koga is my memory bank as well, by the way. My brain doesn't function anymore, so any answer you want from me, it comes via Koga.
Cube Koga. I don't think I've ever played a game of GLC, but the decks that have always interested me the most are Psychic decks, because I think they have.
I mean, Psychic's the coolest, and the pure Sableye Psychic deck is really cool. Where you're still just trying to use Sableye, even though it's a one-off, you can recycle it, and it's still the best card.
Yeah.
Which is quite silly.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna do these. Am I gonna do this, or do I just leave the cram active and try and cress him? Probably cressing him is the better play, right? Yeah, cressing him is way better. So let's do this. Let's get the cress.
I just don't understand how or why you like Paul. He's such a rat. Yeah.
And that's been said, is it?
Rat-like, yeah.
Rat features.
What would you consider key elements to learn in-game to become genuinely competitive? Examples could be matchup knowledge, sequencing, early prize mapping. Would you ever consider doing bite-sized videos on these? Not anytime soon, because we've already said we have a backlog, but
I don't know if
maybe
you've
one
seen. I
day.
don't know if you've seen the spreadsheets, Jack. The Omni General. I'm planning the series.
I've been steering clear since I was told there was secret information in there.
Ah, yeah. Well done.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a series that we would do at some point, though. Again, it's just the whole.
I did it a
are we not-
long time ago on stream,
Yeah.
and I think it's wouldn't be a bad time to try it again.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Have we got JR passes for Japan? I'm not getting one just because I not doing enough traveling. I don't know whether you're considering getting one, Joe.
I am, yeah.
There you go. Hey, Zephus, thanks for the Prime sub, Pollock. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Ben.
Would the next Twitter question is: would we consider charity streams?
Yes.
We don't stream enough to be able to make it like a super consistent thing.
Yeah, but Jack, there was a cat in the question.
There is a cat, and it's very difficult to say no to a cat. That's actually from Laura.
Yes, I know.
Who has just popped in. You missed it earlier on, Laura, but basically, it's
we need what we need is live to not be PTCG live, and then I'll go back to streaming. I think.
Yeah. And that needs to happen within the next 6 months for us to still be interested in
actually, you know
creating
what?
content.
I'm playing so much live right now that I probably should be streaming. Honestly, I'm just making excuses. Bonk, 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 bonk. Should I bring this up? Probably should, right? But what if I get?
Just putting the Suika card on my info.
Probably this actually.
Busy playing Bob. Right, that's all the Twitter questions.
Right. Omni Disc.
I'm going to be heading to the Omni Discord. You have T-2 minutes chat to send in your questions before then, whilst I scroll to the Omni Discord and find some questions that have been submitted in there. Live is less buggy than it used to be. It is. For me, the bigger issue with live is I just think it's slow.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an efficient way of playing Pokemon.
Oh, it's definitely not.
Right, Discord questions. If you could introduce a brand new card to Standard, what would it be and why?
A new what? Sorry.
A new card to Standard. Not necessarily a reprint, and just a new card.
A new card. Good question.
That's a very difficult question.
Do I go full bench here and get out of range of Cram? It's playing a stadium, which I don't like doing. You can go first because I'm deep in think.
For me,
I think I don't. I think I just swing.
I think just one new card wouldn't fix the issues I have with the game.
What do you not like right now, honestly? Because
Uh,
I think the game is
in
so good right now.
yeah, so me saying things I don't like are very much a what's the phrase where like if you have to find fault with it, like
Nitpicking.
I'm completely fine with everything,
Yeah.
but the things they're never going to change, like turn one, like prize checking and stuff. That they're the issues I have with the game, not actual cards or whatever. I think VIP pass is the only card that is pretty feels bad,
Hmm.
but I'm not as angry about it as some people because I think we have enough ways of finding it, and I think now we don't have quick ball. I think it's actually uh, balanced enough for it to be a clogger late game with Iono and stuff that it's actually kind of. I think it's actually better now that it's more punishing in the late game now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, like if I had to pick one thing, it would probably be VIP, but yeah, I'm not. I don't have massive issues with Sableye. It's a very strong card, but I don't think it's just a very strong card. It's just an outlier. I never had issues with ADP. ADP was an outlier. I never had issues with Pikarom. Pikarom was an outlier. I never had issues with Yveltal. It's just like I don't know. It doesn't feel. It feels somewhat pointless to uh they're so evidently not going to ban in standard. It feels pointless to sort of complain about things like that when, however, like whatever happens, there will always be cards that are better than other cards. Like if it wasn't Saberlight, it would be something else. So then is there any card I would want?
Oh, why did I play Fog there? Whoops. Oh, it's actually good because it plays around Iona. That's fine.
I'd say Lost Box is that oppressive when it's 15% of the meta. Yeah, I mean I'm completely fine with where Lost Boxes is because it keeps Guardian in check. And I think I actually think Guardi is a way bigger gatekeeper than Lost Box.
Do you
But
think?
no,
What does
yeah, I
Guardi?
think
What does
so.
Guardi gatekeep?
It's just I just think it's just like just being a better deck, just being a raw better 60.
What?
I don't agree that Lost Box is a gatekeeper. Is kind of my point.
Oh. Uh. I. I think even though Lost Box is a worse deck, it's a better. It's more of a gatekeeper than Guardi is. Because Guardi is just a slow setup and smash deck with so many exploitable weaknesses, right? It like it's still one of the most unfair decks in that it can outdraw everything and find its way out of all sorts of situations. But it's really not that unfair, I don't think. This is one of the healthiest Bediffs I think we've had for a while.
I don't disagree with that. But like, I guess because we're talking about the whole what's the problem with the format, and everyone always immediately says Saberlie. It's like, well, if Saberlie wasn't here, then Guardi would be even better than it already was, and I think that like no matter what you say, there's always going to be something good to complain about, right? So Sableye existing probably keeps Guardy from being even better than it already is, and I already think it's. I personally already think it's pretty unfair. I think it's a perfectly fine unfair, but it's pretty unfair.
I don't know. I'd just call Lost Box more gatekeepy and just the way it plays the game. I also don't think that Guardy would necessarily just be a better deck if Lost Box wasn't here, because there are other things like wings and stuff that would just enter that section of good against Guardy. Like, probably there's more Pelk/Chempow decks with cancelling Greninja and stuff. Like, there's other ways that people are already exploiting Guardy. There'd be more city decks. There'd be more Judge Path. Like, the game's already walked around Guardy so much, really.
Yeah, maybe. I guess, yeah. I guess, yeah. I guess the point I'm...
The thing is, the nature of the best one prize deck in the game almost always harvests other one prize decks. They're so cannibalizing that in almost every format, there's just one really good one prize deck, or there's the best one prize deck almost always.
But this, yeah. But this is kind of my point in that. This is why I don't. It feels so pointless to me being angry at cards like Sableye, because.
I mean, we've seen it through every iteration, for every format, that there's
exactly.
Deck.
This is why I think it's such a pointless argument. Before Sableye, someone just said it. Before Sableye, it was ADP. Before ADP, it was something else. At one point, it was Night March, because that was the best one prize deck, so it uptraded against all of the two prize stuff, and it beat all the one prize stuff because it was better than the rest. It's like there will always be a deck that beats the other one prize decks.
Yeah.
And I don't know. ADP was actually a gatekeeper, though. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean,
any format warping deck is a gatekeeper, right?
I've been. I think the nature of. It's just the nature of the game. Like, there are just good cards in the game, and there are good cards and there are bad cards, and the good cards are better than the bad cards.
Yeah. What was the question? What card would I have?
If you could invent a card.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking that it would be cool to have some more free retreat type tools. I think we're missing. I think there's a lot of space to grow in terms of tools. That's one of the things that we're quite light on right now, still, in the current standard format. So, I think I prefer Air Balloon to Float Stone, or something along those lines. I know it's a card we've had before, but in terms of gaps in standard, I think a free retreat tool would be cool.
Yeah, we get the big balloon, the big stage 2 next
sucks.
format. Yeah, really woeful.
That's exactly what I didn't want to see.
Really woeful.
Yeah, that's the opposite of good card design, I think.
What do you think of current standard and the prospect of it being our Worlds format? I think it's kind of boring, but I think it's a good format to have, so it's fine.
Yeah, format's great. I'm happy.
It would have been nicer to see a new format for Worlds, is my only complaint.
I mean, we haven't played any IC, so it's kind of new for us anyway.
Sure, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I like it when Worlds is its own format, personally. But...
I mean, I've sucked at every Worlds, no matter what the format, so we'll give this one a go, where at least I know what decks are good. Sure, see how that goes. Can't be any worse, right?
If you had the ability to change one thing in the Pokemon TCG, what would you change? Can be gameplay, product, competitive circuit related, anything.
Oh boy, how long have you got?
I know, only one thing.
One thing. It would still be prizes for me, I think, is because prizes already does so much, I think. There's been so much conversation about time save, But deck searching is saving like 3 minutes per game easily, just immediately from that. And I just don't understand why you wouldn't do that. So I would say search prize cards shuffle is just fine.
When you said prizing, I thought you meant tournament prizing, because mine would actually be tournament prizing.
Really? I mean, look at the recent tweets from players are showing like their cost base analysis of the season.
Oh, I don't mean financial. I mean CP. I think a 1,000 player tournament should not be worth the same as a 80 player tournament.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously clearly true.
That's
I think everyone would agree that.
Yeah, but that's what I would change. I think CP payout and probably financial payout should scale with tournament size, because I think it's.
Would you do kickers, or would you do like the thing that I always find weird? The only like downside is that an amount of people could register, and then that's like a public thing, and then everyone's like, oh, I want to go now because we've hit X threshold or whatever, or they're excited to be at this one tournament, and then like a number of people show up that put you below a threshold, and then everyone's like fuming. I think that's one of the only logistical issues.
I think it's probably realistically a logistical nightmare, but the question did not ask how to do it, so I'll leave that to someone cleverer than I.
Oh, but come on. It's got to be practical, man.
I think it has to be.
Has anyone on Twitter yet said best of 3 50-minute, but check your prizes at the start of every game? My God. Think of that. Is that the actual answer? Guys, come on.
I think it probably saves some time, but doesn't. I think we're in a weird.
It guarantees that you can't do certain types of time stalling as well, right?
I think it would help for a lot of the time, but it would be weird in exactly this format where we have the best two decks are very action heavy anyway. Yes, it wouldn't, like the stuff like naturally stopping that type of time stalling would obviously help with that kind of stuff, definitely. But I think because because Guardian Lost Box are like the two most popular decks, because they have so many actions, I don't know how much it actually helps, if that makes sense.
How do I beat a turn 2 10 loss zone? I just don't beat that, right? I'm dead. Sorry, carry on. We've been punished a couple times for 60 hit point rolls today. I'm just randomly thinking that maybe just go quad 70 is better for Worlds. I think that's worth a risk. Day one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting caught up in the here and now.
What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know how helpful it is in this exact format, is what I was saying.
I think it's a guaranteed save of 5 minutes.
Yes, I think it is a guaranteed save for
no matter what deck
the format, like flat 100%. But I think because we're in a really weird situation where the two best decks are so action heavy, I don't know that it actually resolves any of those games that much more often.
I think the same.
So I think it's one of those where it probably is a good solution, but it wouldn't actually be.
But the difference is
received very well.
The save of your initial search is massive, but also anytime anyone enters the deck for any reason, they are literally only allowed to take the card they want and shuffle. Right? No, there's none of that mid game. Look through my deck. Look through their discard. Look through my discard. Look back through my deck, because everyone knows their prizes from the start, so it's just not allowed. Do you not think that's just so massive?
Yeah,
every time you search, it's like I'm searching, I'm either failing or I'm taking, but as soon as I do that, I'm not allowed to do anything else.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I I just think in this exact format where the two best decks are so action heavy anyway, I think the effects of that kind of change would be a bit more minimal, or a bit less noticeable.
Oh, there'd still be a ton of ties.
Yeah, and I think because of that, that's why. Because you said why has no one said that as a solution on Twitter? I think that's why. I think it doesn't actually change
I
what
was
people
joking.
are moaning about. No, but I think it's an
improvement.
Valid. It's a valid improvement. So
yeah,
this
hand is broken.
It's definitely something that is to be considered. But I think in this exact format, it wouldn't be as noticeable, which is really annoying because it's an improvement.
Yeah.
Not everyone was a surprise check. I know, Bolly, but if anything, it increases the skill in their game, right? Because it means that everyone can prize check. I don't personally see prize checking as a skill.
Well, doing it in time constraints is a skill.
Well, yeah, sure, but
you're right. Especially if they're letting people put stuff to the front and back of decks now. There's no skill in it. It's just, do you want to do it or not? Do you want to play the game with full information or a bit that screws you over later?
Yeah.
What's interesting is people who currently don't prize check would then it would like add an element of skill to the game because then they're playing towards things that they actually know.
Yeah, I think
cool.
it's just a net positive for the game.
Yep. Someone did mention that when Azul was saying best of one with an optional mulligan, someone did. I think it was Seagrove mentioned the 13 card hand put 6 prizes, which we've done in cubes, right? We did that for Tamal's cube a couple times.
Yeah, it's interesting. Unfortunately, I think it. I don't know how much time that saves because it's.
Oh, that's not a time save. That's just a best of one helper, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's a very extreme way of helping best of one as well. I think that's almost format warping.
It's
literally that turn one rule change. Do I attach anything here? Maybe attach this here.
Is raising the skill floor the same as adding skill? Yeah, I think so. So yeah, that was the question was what would we change about the game in general? Yours was the prize cards, mine was the CP payout / prizing.
Yeah.
Have we talked about the new sponsor policies? No, we haven't. I haven't actually read the document, but from the little bits I've picked up, it seems great. It seems a step in the right direction for turning Pokemon into more of an esport, which is what they keep trying to do.
Love to see it. I think I'm not meant to put down Manaphy here. Just let him rapid flow these two if he does it.
Best of 3, 50 minutes, but 1-0 isn't a win. That's basically best of 2. But it means that someone can win. Welcome to TCG Juniors. It happens quite a few tournaments. 47 juniors, no top 16 CP. Unfortunately, no matter what, there will always be kicker issues. Like, if you say, if 48 is what's needed for 16 CP, top 16 CP, and you get 47, and someone says, oh, let's change to 47, then 47 just becomes 46, and you never fix that issue. So there has to be a point of cutoff. But yeah, my point is a tournament with 200 players is considerably easier than a tournament with 1,000 players because you need a way better record to get into top 8, and them being the
I think record-based CP would also achieve a similar thing, right? If there's literally less rounds in a tournament. Oh, I guess it's a similar amount of rounds for like 80 people and... I guess it wouldn't be. Interesting.
Under 200 is just...
Day one.
Day one's top 8.
Yeah.
8 rounds is top 8.
Yeah. Maybe that's a better way of doing it than kickers. I haven't really thought about this too much.
Yeah, that's something that I think that's one of the more common solutions, I believe, is match point based.
Yeah.
Which then, if you think about that, is kind of similar to ELO from back in the day.
Yeah.
Which everyone preferred, from what I understand. So,
you think everyone preferred ELO?
I feel like a lot of people did.
No. There was tons of scuff stories about ELO.
Oh,
so many things were bizarre. I mean, just like dropping from Nats and stuff after like 2 wins or something stupid just feels like so bad and so like not fun.
Yeah, that's true.
You want to enter every tournament with the idea and intention of winning it, right? You don't want to turn up to be like, okay, 1 game, see you later. I'm terrified of losing the next one, so I won't play any more Pokemon today.
Yeah.
I think that just sucks.
Definitely. We've had another... How much longer do you think you have in the tank for playing and making content? We answered this a little bit earlier on. Basically...
Certainly
it's a discussion. There's a discussion we need to have. Do you have any long-term plans outside of the realm of Pokemon? Do you have any long-term plans outside of the realm of Pokemon, Joe?
The realm.
The realm?
For the realm. For the watch. No.
No. Yes, but not ones that I'm... It says if you're comfortable sharing. Not stuff I want to share yet. There's some stuff I want to try at some point in terms of like stuff outside of Pokemon, but I want to try it before. You think everyone is a broad term to use because how many people from the ELO era are still playing now? I would argue if people aren't playing from the ELO era now, that would say to me there is argument to say they preferred the ELO era, but that's not necessarily true. But I don't think that's an argument to say that they say the current is better, because arguably they've quit for a reason, right? And saying the current player base far outweighs the amount of players from back then, I also don't think is a fair argument for ELO being worse. I think ELO is worse, but I don't think those are 2 arguments for it being worse. ELO is more suited to games with low variance, where the better player wins the vast majority of the time. Makes sense.
Yeah, just going back to just like, not really horror stories, but like downsides of ELO. There were definitely people who just feel unsure about their invite or their placement or their position, just because someone else could go above you if they go deep enough in a tournament. So there was all this like weird cat and mouse stuff going on that just, you don't want that sort of gamesmanship. I think you should, yeah, like I said, enter a tournament to try and do well in it, right? To try and... Or at least you've been allotted 9 rounds. You're allowed to play them. You're able to play as much Pokemon as you want.
Yeah. What deck do you think is underrated and overrated right now?
What deck is overrated? Arcdura Umbreon,
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
because it's toilet. Underrated. I honestly think that Lost Tina probably was underrated pre-NAIC, but it's seeing a ton of placements
I think
and play that I think everyone's agreeing that Lost Tina's like pretty appropriately placed now, as like probably within the top 5 of decks. So underrated is probably more like Mew, I think, for its placements. Or its amount of play rate. Like, its play rate is below, like, Chien-Pao and stuff right now online, and I think it's a far stronger deck than that. I also think somewhat people are underestimating Turbo Lost Box, because I'm hearing so many people just say I won't play it because it ties too much, but the deck is at an extremely high power level. So I think people will put it among the top decks, but will choose not to play it for X or Y reason, when it's just it's a good deck. You don't need to overthink it too much. Play the good decks and do well.
Yeah. Podcast when? Same answer as all the other ones, unfortunately. Stuff we would like to do, but realistically, stuff that will not happen until we take some time away from playing or our jobs, and it's probably more likely playing these days.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Can't win this turn. Can I lose next turn? How much health does this have left?
Man, my internet is so bad. Can't even load chat at the moment.
I should probably just punch this, huh? How do they knock me out? They have to go, like, rope boss or something to knock this out. It's really weird, because I don't have much... Oh, I shouldn't have got rid of the Psychic, because that was my push for next turn. Huh, maybe I need to bench Roltz now. Did I throw? I guess I threw. I should have just punched and kept Psychic in hand for this. Because he can Painful Spoons if I put a... Can I lose to Painful Spoons? 280? No. So I guess I just need to top deck things now. Huh, that kind of sucks. I think I should be punching this, though. I could entirely lose my hand, so I probably should play this down. Do I cycle any Psychic Energies back into the deck to be my only draw power? Probably not. Do I play a Stadium? Probably. I don't care about him having that. He can have a Remoraid for free if he wants. We'll just punch. Melanie, 100 Furious Blows, Double Gun, Radzam. I have Resist, though, right?
Already answered something similar to this one. What would you change about PTCG Live?
I'd like the game to work. That would be good. I'd like a real ranked ladder. That would be good. I'd like the game to be so much faster in so many ways. Even just the open... Like, automate the opening coin flip Just tell me who's going first. Highlight who's player 1, like they did in PTCGO. That would be good. What else? Turn these cards facing the other way, like a real game. Oh, am I getting done by the horn? That was the only thing that beat me, I guess. Horn, right? I could have rodded. Do I have 60 hit point rolls in here? No, just this. Yeah, I just blanked on that being an option to win them the game.
Why does Joe hate Duraludon so much?
The deck doesn't draw cards, it's basically a theme deck. That's why I don't like the deck. Cast hit Water Energy or Spoons off the 4-card draw. Hit Spoons. Yeah, we're in trouble now, boys. I don't insta-lose, right, unless he benches Urshi as well this turn, and then I instantly lose. I think this is still winning, right? He still doesn't beat me from here. Maybe Hand Disruption beats me now. Like they can Iono this turn and just punch me for a bit of damage. I still don't know how they close. Any other questions, Jack?
Just catching up on Discord ones. A lot of them we've already kind of covered.
I also don't hate Arc Duraludon. I remember when it first came out, I was one of the biggest believers in the deck. I really don't attach myself to archetypes. I just give my honest opinion of where they are in the meta at the time. So there have been times when you have said I'm a massive Arc Dura stan, to be honest with you.
Do we have any superstitions before events?
Nope.
I do not, no. What card would you never want to see again?
Good one. What I never want to see again. Let Loose? Probably Let Loose is the answer to that question.
Yeah. I think Let Loose or genuinely Marnie. I think Marnie was so bad.
Rip Marnie. Right, so I can win if I basically draw Ball Search, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Yeah, those are 3 unhelpful cards. There's 130 left. How many stadiums has he been through? 2 stadiums and switch. And rope. So he wins if he can rapid strike search this. This has... yeah, that's in range. Have to hope he doesn't have enough double gunners to kill me if I just go Crest this turn.
Are we doing any museums in Tokyo? Probably. We're there for long enough that I would imagine we will do some stuff like that, yeah. Would we ever make the trip to the US regionals similar to what Henry did this year? I think if I were likely to, it would be similar to how Henry did, in that I would want to do like a regional and then an AIC. I don't think I'd ever just go for a regional. I don't think.
Yep.
Unless it was in a particular area of America that I really wanted to go. Anyway.
I would say the same.
And that's pretty much it for Discord questions. Are there any last burning questions in chat?
How long have we been going? 3 hours.
3 hours, 9 minutes, and 54 seconds.
Don't you forget it. Oh, he got there. The focus got him into his second retrieval. Oh, that's so unlucky. You rapscallion! You little frog. I guess his deck was pretty thin. Wait, he plays double focus as well. Did I lose because they played 2 Karina's focus? Damn, bro. You just can't account for that sort of thing. Rats.
Why aren't we playing Urshifu at Worlds? Benji asks.
I think the deck's fine. I just don't want to. There you go. I don't want to play a dodge and weave deck, basically.
I do not miss Shady Dealings. Shady Dealings was cool, but I think we had enough of it.
3 prizes are the way to go. I mean, maybe. I don't feel comfortable playing a dodge and weave deck. It's just not my preference. I feel like it's probably still being under-respected right now for how good it is. But we have seen an uptick in Lugia in online events, at least. And I feel like there'll still be a good amount of Mew day 1 because it's a fast deck that can not tie games. So I think there's genuine reason to play Lugia and Mew day 1 of Worlds, which makes me not want to play Urshi. Urshi may be a better day 2 play, honestly.
I know Joe loves 2 prize formats, but do either of you love 3 prize formats? I think we both liked the tag team formats.
Yeah.
I find it very legendary.
Oh, go on.
Go on, Kara.
I was just saying, there's not many formats I truly dislike, to be honest with you. I'm easily pleased, and I'll find a deck that I like in most formats. But tag teams aren't really that terrible, I don't think. They get a really bad rap for actually how healthy a lot of the formats were. They're just quite basic and dumbed down and quite hit or whiff, which is like the biggest gripes, but most people got to play the game and deck composition was good. And yeah, it was consistent at least. So,
what's your favorite legendary and non-legendary Pokemon? My favorite legendary Pokemon is Giratina. My favorite non-legendary Pokemon is Chimchar.
My favorite legendary is Mewtwo. And my favorite is Empoleon. Man, sick deck. Why do I disrespect Arcdura when it's this good? Why does Joe bully Arcdura? It's such a good deck.
Any last questions, chat? It's better in best of 3, I swear.
Skyseal Guardi is definitely on my radar as well. I think it's a very good idea for day 1 Worlds. Being negative into Mirror is a bit of a worry. I guess it's not negative, but playing double Zacian and Skyseal Stone are cards that aren't good in Mirror. Which is the only downside, I think, of a Skyseal Guardi, but concluding games is excellent. He's going to hit the nuts next turn. The nuts next turn is Trinity Charge. I don't care if he hits the nuts.
Any final words?
He whiffed the nuts. So sad. Maybe I should play Iono first here. It's close. I have Tail as well, so I don't know. Now I have a 12-card dig for Candy Guardy.
Just drew it?
Just drew it. Just drew it up.
Any last questions, chat? Or are we all Q&A'd out?
I think we're there. We've drunk our Q&A'd and we're done. I mean, I'm going to finish this game, so if anyone has any more burning questions, crack on.
Now's the time. Woody's Pictionary. That's what we should have done for 30k, Joe. Pictionary.
Pictionary. I don't know. Pictionary's so mainstream now. They do it on the streams. I feel like it's lost its shine.
Let's just pretend that it started from all of those random OmniPoke.
If you think the OmniPoke live stream Persimmon isn't the reason why they're on the official stream to this day, you're gravely mistaken.
Advice for someone going into their first full competitive season. Don't put too much pressure on yourself and just try and go to lots of local events. I think local events are the gateway into getting better at the game. You find people to travel with and that kind of stuff as well. But yeah, don't set your goals too high and just try and enjoy it. Aiming to go to Barcelona and Lille too. Yeah, I mean,
enjoy the holiday aspect of all of it.
Yeah.
Try and go with people if you can as well. That's also a great way to just find the fun of everything around the event as well as the event itself is the way to enjoy this game for a long period of time.
I'm really sad I can't go to Barcelona because it's somewhere I've never been before. And I really like Spain.
Will I ever commentate in NA Regional? If ever they ask me, sure. Are we going to get this guy with a Champs Festival? It's happening. The festival. Come on. We got him. He's sat there thinking this arc literally cannot get knocked out right now. That's literally what he's thinking right now. He's saying that to himself. I can hear him saying out loud that this can't get knocked out. Oh, but it can. And it will.
You wait. I can't see the player's name, but just you wait, player.
Yeah. They're about to get played.
Look at all this thinning. This is genius.
This is my last Iono. Do I want to get rid of it? I have one in the prizes, so I have a 50-50 of getting it. Should I get rid of research? Let's get rid of boss, I guess. But what if... 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. I guess I should get rid of the research.
I agree with getting rid of the research.
Alright. So I drew extra psychic, so I think we're all good, right? I can do this. Go to 7 in the bin. 2, 4, 6, 7. Turn attach is 8, which is 300. I can double Ultra Ball to get Greninja down and Guardy down. Oh, do I get rid of the other boss now? That's interesting. Do I just want to hold boss for game? Like, Iona's doing nothing for me now, unless I play it this turn, but I don't think I really need to play it this turn. Like, I know they have Umbreon, but I don't really care, because the Umbreon's not powered up. Yeah, I think I just toss this. Alright.
Why is this so slow?
Any minute now, they've had it. Any minute now. Trust me, I'm coming. I'll be there in a minute. Even the Champs Festival is painfully slow. Bonk. So they can spoons, and they can... I guess Spoon's Locity KOEX is okay. I mean, they have to Iono as well, right? They have to do a lot here, I think. So I didn't have Guardian in my hand pre-Iono, so I should probably Greninja before the Mysterious Tail. And then I should also do my refinements before Mysterious Tail. Hello? Oh, do I not have the Guardi? Oh, it's here. Okay, that's actually a problem. But I can two-shot this, right? And not lose. Two-shot with Guardi. Oh, I can lose because I have to damage my Mew. Oh, I don't have to damage my Mew. Okay. I can attach. I still have switch in deck, right? Yeah. So I have to do this. Take not switch in case I get Ionoed. Oh, but yeah, because I can get Ionoed and Gusted. We just attach and punch with Guardia, right? I might lose if they play Horlucha. I think I evolve, right? Do I super rod any energy back into the deck because it's Greninja draw? I think I do. I think I put at least one in. 3, 6, 7. Maybe 2. Nah, maybe 1. I think 1. The Galaxy Brain 1 Psychic back into the deck.
Ish.
Show me the Psyche energy. Nope. We have Refinement still. We had Serena at the bottom, so it's worth tailing before anything else. Ah, there we go. Okay.
Should have got the fish.
Why?
Don't know. Just should have got the fish.
Nah.
Cool.
Right. Long stream. Sorry if we were... I don't know. I wanted to show gameplay just so it wasn't just me and Jack on camera the whole time, because I think that can be a bit dry. What do you mean the nuts? We had like a 6-card deck and all of our deck was outs. we would super laurel if we didn't win that game. And the Champs Fest got us there, I think. Especially because I prized a Guardia, right? If I didn't have Champs Fest that turn, I'd just lose. Busted Champs. Yeah, sorry if we were distracted during our questions, but I think having some gameplay was more interesting to watch for the 3 hours. And more interesting for us, I suppose, for a bit. But yeah. Thanks for sticking around. No promises of when the next stream is. Anything else?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for 30,008 subscribers, or however many are on now.
Yeah, onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards, for sure.
Alright, see you guys.